We are live. What's up, guys? Chaz here with Side Hustle Pros. Here's what we're gonna do. I have not been putting up consistent content on this channel for like 6 weeks. We've been doing our weekly normal live Q&A sessions, Trista and I. And I'm sitting here thinking I need to start recording content on my camera. I need to start doing more editing. I need to start putting up content, right? And then I remember something that Gary Vee always talks about, which is document, don't create. And I think that I, of all people, get so caught up with trying to make the perfect video and trying to make edits look really good. And I've just come to realize that right now in this point in time, I'm not a fancy editor. I have a video editor, but we're gonna be producing vlogs pretty much for what we're using that for. For the most part, I sat here because this is what I'm doing pretty much all day. I've been doing this for weeks. I have a whole electronics corner inside of our new office right now, and I'll do an official walkthrough video with you guys once we're all cleaned up and reset and organized. But I've been picking through my electronics and cleaning and testing and listing on eBay and making some money on eBay with these. And I just got these all set up, not for the video, but I got these set up just, this is what I've been doing for weeks. And I thought, you know what? I need to stop trying to go fancy with the content and trying to produce like the best quality videos and as far as production quality, and just start documenting what we do. So that's where this video came from. I literally just like 15 minutes ago thought, you know what? I'm not gonna go fancy. I'm not trying to be professional here. I'm just gonna go through and do what I normally do, and you guys can tag along. So if you like to see that type of behind the scenes video, please comment below, hit the like button. Let me know if that's the type of footage you wanna see, or if you'd rather see the super professional looking, clean cut edit type of video. I will be doing more of like a tutorial video, which will be the clean cut professional one on how to clean and test a VCR unit or a receiver, amplifier, that kind of stuff. I will do shorter, like 5-minute segment videos as far as that goes. But for tonight, in this style of video, it's just documenting behind the scenes. So I'm gonna plan on going live here for an hour, maybe up to an hour and a half. If you wanna hang out that long, that's awesome. We appreciate the support. But I know that I love watching what other people are doing behind the scenes, more so than I like watching like the professional tutorial looking videos. And that's just me personally. I don't know how you guys feel about that stuff. That's not to say they're not great. That's just to say for me personally right now, where we're at with our channel, we're capped on time, and I don't have time to sit with my camera every single day and do this kind of stuff. So I'm just gonna sit here and document is what I'm gonna do. It's literally, yeah, Kenny, it's raw and uncut. So I have no step 1, step 2, step 3 in this video planned out. I have no bullet points, no talking points. I'm just gonna go through and clean my stuff and test it. I'm not gonna clean tonight. I'm gonna test all this, make sure it all works. Some of these are gonna be VHS players alone. Some are VHS and DVD. So I'm gonna go through, hook them up to the TV, test out both the VHS and the DVD portion of it, make sure all the buttons work that are on the unit. And then after that, it's gonna go into another pile, which I'll then clean tomorrow. And then I take photos and list these up on eBay. Now, just to get it right up front, because I know a lot of people are gonna ask, why am I not selling these on Amazon? These are specifically for my 100 to 10K challenge account, which is only eBay. That was one of the rules of the account. I did a whole video showing what that challenge is about, so you can go to our channel and check it out. I will be doing a follow-up video to that to show you where we're at right now. We are just shy of $6,000 in sales. I haven't tallied up the official profit, but it's probably somewhere about $3,000, maybe $3,500 in net profit right now. And that whole account started with 100 bucks. That was the challenge. Take 100 bucks, buy electronics locally, and flip them on eBay. That was the challenge. So that's why these are not going on Amazon. Can I make more actual money selling all of these electronics on Amazon? Yes. Amazon customers will pay more for electronics. That's just based on my experience. But for the sake of that eBay account, that challenge, these are going on eBay. So aside from that, I'm not gonna be doing any bubble wrapping or shipping tonight or showing you how I package stuff. That's in a different video. Tonight's just gonna be testing. I'm bringing you guys along, so don't mind me. You guys get to watch what I've been doing for the last few weeks. Lots of late nights, so it's been fun. What's up? We got Mr. Christopher Grant in the house. If you guys want tactical arbitrage help, go follow Christopher Grant on YouTube. Hit him up on his, I'm drawing a blank of what his Instagram was. Chris, drop your Instagram link below. Give that dude a follow. All right, so here we go. I'm just gonna go through and test my stuff. If you guys wanna follow along, awesome, we appreciate it. And if you have questions, drop those below. I'll talk through kind of the steps I'm doing. I'll look up some different comps on some of these things, like this freaking thing. Wait till you guys see the comps on this thing. It's crazy. What's the weirdest thing I've ever found in a VCR? Just a few weeks ago, I need to go through, it's on my stories, Mo, I need to go through and save that clip. Just a few weeks ago, I almost made a very, very bad mistake. I don't know if any of these have it. Yeah, so none of these units have it, but sometimes, oh, actually this one does. Can you guys see this? Yeah, you can see that. All right, so see how there's hidden compartments where some of these component plugins are gonna be? So I had one of those, and some of these are slick. Like this thing, I didn't even see that first time I looked at it. Sometimes they're hidden so well. I had cleaned and tested a VCR. It was a VCR DVD combo. It sold on eBay, so I pulled it from inventory, and I went to go bubble wrap this thing, and just I don't know what it was, but I saw this little panel, and I thought, I don't think I actually looked inside of that. So I pushed the thing open, and I kid you not, it was layered with spider webs and a big old fat dead spider just chilling right there. And my stomach dropped. Like I was getting ready to send that to a customer. That would have been so bad. Especially if it's somebody that does not like spiders. That would have been like if Trista, she's behind the camera. If Trista had opened up that and she bought it off of eBay,
I'll see you in court.
she would have sued me. So that was the weirdest thing I found inside of VCR so far. That was rough. So yeah, when you guys are doing this stuff, make sure you're checking every crease, every corner. I'm not gonna be doing any heavy cleaning on any of this tonight, it's just gonna be testing. And then I have post-it notes, so if there's any specific things, like one of these I plugged in before, I was really quick, so I didn't fully test it. One of these was only showing in black and white, it wasn't coming up with color, so I make post-it notes on that kind of stuff. So when I list it, I could just tell them right up front, like, hey, the rewind button doesn't work, or it's showing in black and white, not color. So I can make different notes like that inside my listings. Eric in Ohio, thank you for the super chat. It says, I like ponies and candy. Probably the oddest, most random super chat comment that we've seen. That's awesome. Jeffrey said, I sent you a DM on Instagram about consumer electronics. I will be catching up with my DMs between tomorrow night and tomorrow morning. I have a little slot of time blocked off where I'm going to be catching up on all my DMs. I had my Instagram DMs down to 0 a few weeks back, and it's back up to 99 plus. So I'm doing my best to try to chip through that each day. So if you're in my Instagram, you'll be getting a message back, I promise. Oh, what's up, Rachel? So this is funny. Rachel and Eric from Sheridan, I'm pretty sure this is the same Rachel. Comment below, let me know. So I posted a Nintendo DS. It was a DS Lite, little red game, based on Nintendo DS Lite. Posted that up on OfferUp to sell locally, because by the time I ship it, and it was really a bad buy. I'm selling it at break even. At $40 because in my head I thought it was a different model, and when I bought it and I tried to list it, I'm like, nope, I'm gonna break even. So I'm selling it locally, and I get a message, and she asked if we sell on eBay. I'm like, yeah, we sell on eBay. And she asked if we were Side Hustle Pros. So somebody who lives 10 minutes away, which is, I think it's Rachel and Eric here. Rachel found me through OfferUp locally, so I thought that was kind of funny. All right, sweet. So I'm going to make sure I didn't miss any like big questions. If you have, ooh, that's a good one, Martin. If you have a VCR DVD combo and only the VCR side works, sell it or junk it. Sell it. People are buying, especially the VCR sides, people are buying these even for parts because there's parts inside of these units that companies don't make anymore. VHS units, especially, they're out of, the manufacturers don't make them anymore. So they're taking the heads out of them. Actually, our landlord used to, like, he's got to be the most knowledgeable human being I know when it comes to anything electronics, especially vintage radio stuff. But he used to be an artist, and he would take the heads out of VCRs and craft these huge, extravagant pieces. So people are buying up parts inside of here, so you can absolutely sell them. Yeah, go for it. Do you need upstairs? Oh. This is behind the scenes, ladies and gentlemen.
There's a couch in the way.
There's a couch in the way.
Whoa.
P.S. If you ever get a hold of a unit that has a loft built up top, that's where all of our eBay stuff is being stored, and it's freaking amazing. So, here we go. I'm going to just hit I'm gonna hit a few questions, and then I'm just gonna bounce back and forth. I'm gonna be testing my stuff, and then I'll bounce back and do some questions when we get them in. That's awesome. Yeah, it's the same Rachel. Welcome in. I love connecting with the local people. All right, so we got one question from Timothy. It says, I usually would sell my VCR DVD combos with one cheap VHS and one cheap RCA cable. Yep. That's something I'm probably gonna do. So I have a price point. So I've sold many VCRs for about $45 to $50, just as is the console by itself, no extra cords. The power cords are typically, some of them are external, meaning they plug in, but most of them are part of the unit. But just the units, most of them you can sell for at least $45, $50. The ones that are gonna sell for over like 65, 70, those are the ones I'm buying extra cords for, and you can get them dirt cheap too. Should I buy all the VHS and sell as parts? What's the best price to buy VHS at if I want to do that? If most of the time I'm getting my VHS players, I think most of these I paid under $10. There's a few exceptions, being these two and this one. This one I paid $25 for. And if you want to look up the comps, it's JVC HRS 9500U. This thing, the comps are kind of sporadic, but this should sell for about $200, if not a little bit more. So I paid $25 for that. These are, I'm not exactly sure what I think these are like more of like a higher end recorder unit, but these things I paid $30 each, and the comps on those are about 180 plus. So the higher I can sell, the more I can sell it for, then the more parts I'm going to buy for it to make it complete. So like this one being able to sell for about 200, maybe 150 on the low end. Yeah, I'm gonna get a nice set of RCA cables with it, and then I also have a remote that I bought for it on its way. So higher ticket items like that I take better care of too. But I sold plenty of just the base console. You can sell those things for $45, $50 pretty commonly. Yes, that's with free shipping. Typically, we're in Oregon, so like I get jealous of the people who live in the middle of the country because you're not shipping out too far either way. For me in Oregon, I'm shipping a lot of stuff lately on the electronics account is going to like New York or Florida or Tennessee. Those have kind of been our big three states. So I have to pay up on shipping on some of this stuff. So shipping, what I shipped yesterday, I shipped a receiver unit from here to Buffalo, New York, and it cost $27 with FedEx home delivery. And it weighed I think it was just shy of 22 pounds, if I remember right. It was on Instagram, I forget what the poundage was. It was about 20 pounds. And so that was an eyeball. So usually I factor in about $30 for shipping. Did I see Eagle Empire is in Oregon as well? Let me scroll back up. By the way, I'm an Oregon. Oh, there you go. Oregon RA Sniper Agent. I love it. Eagle Empire, where are you based out of? My son has scored several boxes of old comics. What's the best way to do comps, UPC scan? I've never done comics on eBay. I don't know what exact category that falls. That's probably under collectibles as far as Amazon goes. So I'm not sure on that answer. I'm sure somebody in here knows more about comics than I do. At least on eBay, you could just search by the title. Comics, sometimes they'll have that year under there, or whatever edition it is too. Ah, Beaverton, nice. I went to massage school in Beaverton. That's where I got licensed. Why are some VCR DVD players priced so differently? It's just quality. A lot of it's branding, the quality. Because you'll get some of like the cheaper RCAs, typically one of the cheaper VHS player units. I don't think I have. No, I've sold a few, and you guys know which ones I'm talking about. Some of them are like the RCA basic black ones. They're super light. They don't weigh much. The components in there are just pretty cheap parts. That's why they're pretty cheap. And those will sell for like $25 to $30 versus something like this. These are just higher definition. Some of these were at the turn of the time when they started to come out with high def stuff. So the components that they put in here are just higher quality. I think a lot of it is just brand following too. It's the same reason why some people, well, maybe not now, but some people will buy up Nike versus Reebok, not because it's a better shoe, but because they just love Nike, the brand. That may not be the case at the moment, but that's a different story. So you guys see where I'm going with that. A lot of it's just brand following. Like for me, I always lean towards Sony on all my stuff. Not because of any one specific reason, just because I've always had great experience with Sony. So if I have a Sony or a Pioneer or a JVC, like I'm gonna lean towards the Sony. I think just as humans, that's what we do. Did you build, this is a good question. Did you build your eBay and Amazon at the same time or focus one in the beginning? I am a big fan of focusing on one thing at a time and growing that until you get really good at it and then adding something else in, because I have such a track record of trying to do all the things all at the same time and make them all great, and every single time I fail. Because I tend to spread myself way too thin, way too often, and that was just a learning phase I had to go through. So when the whole like Amazon, eBay thing came around in our life and that chapter opened up, I definitely had to focus on Amazon in the beginning. That was the platform I loved the most. That was, still is, but that in the beginning, that was the platform I really wanted to focus on. So I focused just on that. Later on, how long after did you start your eBay account, babe? It was like 6 months.
Maybe a year.
8 months, a year. So like 8 to 12 months later, Trista started doing used clothing on eBay, and it took me another like 8 months until I realized, oh, eBay is like a viable thing. It's a great platform I can sell other products on. So that's when I started implementing eBay, and I still struggle with balancing both because now we do both. I still struggle with, like right now I'm all about eBay because I'm flipping this stuff for, $50, $60, $70. I'm only paying $5 or $10 for it. The margins are awesome on electronics on eBay. But then I noticed my Amazon account slowly dwindling because I haven't been shipping in products. So I'm like anyone else. I struggle with the balance of it. I'm not up here to try to look like I know exactly what I'm doing at all times, because I don't. I'm a hot mess like you guys all are probably. If anything, I just want to be up here and just record content that's actually raw and show you guys exactly kind of what we're doing behind the scenes. So with that, you guys can keep dropping questions below. I'll bounce back and forth, but I want to get going on some of this testing. I did get a unit. Let me see if I can show you this. This TV, I just bought a cheap TV at Walmart. Oh, that's why. So I bought this little cheapo TV at Walmart just to test this kind of stuff. And the component plugins on the back are not exactly friendly. So what I did was I got this little, it goes from your component cables to an HDMI. So HDMI runs to the TV. So you'll see me swapping everything's gonna stay as is. The HDMI will go in here, but all I'm gonna do is swap out the other end of the components and then put them in each of these. And then I got a power strip right there, and that's as simple as it needs to be. So I'm just gonna go through and kind of talk you through what I'm doing. If you guys have questions, drop them below. We'll get the show on the road. And I went to Goodwill specifically because I didn't have any VHS here or DVDs. So I got the Matrix. That's what we're going to be testing all of our DVDs on. And inside of this unit was the last one it was put into. We have Hercules. So we're going with some classics tonight. So let's, we need the VHS, so let's start with this. Oh no, it's sitting on my cables. All right, see if we can do this. This was my thought for the video tonight was I am not gonna go fancy. I'm not gonna edit. You guys get to see literally what I've been up to the last couple weeks as far as cleaning and testing, all that fun stuff. All right, I think we're loose. There we go. All right. So here's kind of my process. If I mean, I don't really technically have like a process. It's pretty cut and dry to test this kind of stuff. Everyone's always asking about testing. How do you test? How do you test? Like, well, you just got to use it the way that the consumer's going to use it, right? Now, I don't have controllers for any of these, but I'm not testing controllers. I'm just testing the unit. So I'm going to go through each button and use that and make sure that they're going to work. And I want to plug in both a DVD and a VHS if it's a combo and make sure each one works, because sometimes you'll have one that works, one that doesn't. And I think it was Martin that asked about that earlier. Then you can sell it for parts and just clearly state in your listing what's wrong with it, any flaws, scratches, all that kind of stuff gets put in my listings. So let's test this bad boy out. Turn that there. All right. I do not need these, and I would recommend you get yourself some components. That way you just have a set ready to use at all times. That really does help out. Just today I realized I didn't have an HDMI cord, which I have that set up with, so I had to run out and grab one. So now I'm gonna need the other end of these guys. So what we're gonna do is plug and play. So we're going video, audio. I never in my life thought I would have a career where I get to like play with video games and watch Disney movies and get paid. I was playing Rock Band earlier this morning and Trista came out. She gave me the wife look like, why are you playing video games at 10 a.m.? And it was because I was testing out Rock Band guitars. And she's like, oh, okay, I guess that's okay. Guess that's okay. TJ's Life is Pie. Thank you for the super chat. Much appreciated. If you had a lot of labor-intensive inventory, would you list it individually or lot it up to get better inventory? It depends on the potential profit, because a lot of times you're going to make more money by individually selling stuff, but it depends on how much you have, how labor intensive, because you have to start eventually in the beginning. Let me back up. In the beginning, we would sell anything. Like if it made a $5 profit, like we're in, we're going to do whatever we need to do to make that $5. So we gain the experience. As you get more experience, you start to weigh out time versus money. So then you have to weigh out, is making a $5 profit worth spending 15 minutes? Maybe it's cleaning, testing, photos, creating the listing, and then shipping. Is making $5 worth all that collective time that goes into that one product? When you hit that point of transitioning, you have to start putting a number on it. So for example, if you get to the point where you're like, you know what? For me to take an hour of my time to clean and test something, I need it to make it worth it. I need to make X amount. That's something you need to define for yourself, because everyone's different. Some people only need to make $10 an hour. Some people need to make $100 an hour. It just depends. So I don't have a direct answer for you, but that's just the way my mind works on how I would take that question for myself. So for example, all these, right? I've never actually looked up how great lotted VCRs go. Maybe they do. But for example, if I had all these, this is all going to take some time, but I'm going to make several $100s profit. So for me, taking an evening to test and clean, and then the time it takes to bubble wrap and ship, that's worth it to me because I might make $500 profit. I don't know, that's not an exact number because I know we're gonna get the trolls like, that's not $500. That's just a random number I've thrown out there. I don't know exactly how much I'm gonna make on this yet until I sit down and run the comps on every single one and then get these all listed. But just having the experience under my belt, I know we're gonna make a good chunk of change on these. So for me, that's worth it. If you just have death piles that it's just stressing you out, it's not worth it, then yeah, lot the stuff together just to clear inventory, make room, and then you start to make better decisions when you're doing your future purchases. $4.99 tops. Why why do people give a thumbs down for live? If you don't like it, leave. That's part of being a content creator. The second you put your face out on Instagram, the second you put it on Facebook, the second you put your face on video on YouTube especially, you're gonna get your trolls, you're gonna get your little hater clan, and they will make sure the second you go live or post a video, they're gonna hit thumbs down real quick. But you guys as a collective can help us out by hitting the thumbs up button. I think that it cancels it out to some degree, I think. But we're not here to like chase the views and like chase the likes and all that stuff. We're just here to document. That's really all I care about, is just showing you guys behind the scenes. Like, this is what a real behind the scenes operation looks like. I'm giving a thumbs up just to combat the trolls. Appreciate it. But yeah, my goal with content, last tangent, and then I'll get back to work. My goal with content, whether it's Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, whatever, my goal with content is just to show you guys what like an average size business can be. We don't have huge numbers. We don't pull near what all the other big YouTubers do, but we do it just enough for us to be able to have our own little warehouse and create this little lifestyle that we love. We get to drop our schedule on the middle of a Tuesday and go to the beach if we want to. We get to travel. I mean, we can't just like up and go wherever we want in the world yet, but that's going to come with time. But for now, it's like, I just want to show you guys, like, this is what a real business looks like behind the scenes. As far as this style of business, of course, once you talk about like private label and like wholesale and all that stuff, that's a different system, different tactics that go into it. But if you're talking about electronics on eBay specifically for this video, this is it. You spend the majority of your time either sourcing or cleaning or testing. And until I'm to the point on that account which I want to get to, until the point of that account being where I can hire somebody to do all of this for me every day, I'm going to continue doing it myself. That's just part of the process. All right, tangent over, back to work. All right, let's get this thing. So I've already got VHS in here. Good old Hercules. I've literally used this TV one time. I can't tell if it's the white or the pink that's the highlighted one. All right, let's switch to, this is the second time I've used it. Where's my friggin' source button? Caption, sound, picture, man. I literally can't find my own source button. I know it's out here. Oh, I see that it doesn't say source. Most of the time on your controllers, if you guys don't know, to swap between like HDMI and different components, it's going to say source, but this one actually just has a picture of the component. There we go. All right, so we are plugged in. All right, you're talking behind the scenes. This is part of it. I plugged in this thing and it's not connecting. Make sure we're plugged in. All right, we should be good, right? Plugged in. All right. Why is my HDMI not showing up? All right, there's one other cord to this little thing. I think I don't know where it's at. So we're gonna skip this part and we're just gonna plug these directly in and go from there. This is part of it, like you don't win everything. It's a good thing this TV weighs like 2 pounds. Here. I don't know why that HDMI wasn't working. All right. I changed that up, so we should have components. Wow. This one has multiple components, so we're going to try this front part instead. I can't think. Alright, my TV literally is not going to allow me to switch this up. We are on component. This is, you can't get much more like raw than this. Like my freaking TV is not wanting to pick this up at all. And I know it's not the unit because I just did this the other night and it worked. So what is happening? All right, we're gonna restart TV. I'll answer some questions real quick. Wait for the dumb thing. Some of these comments, man. I have a Kenwood ham radio, new in box. Nice. It is 15 years old. Box looks like new. I test. There are comps 200 for 450 for parts. That's awesome. Yeah, you find some of that vintage stuff that's still new in the box. You can't beat that. One of my favorite flips I've done so far, in Goodwill of all places, I found a Sony Walkman, and I bought it for $7. It was factory sealed. I triple checked every crease. It was factory sealed. Sold it for $150. Like, you just can't beat that. If you've got a TV, please hit me up because I'm over this thing already. I just bought this stupid thing too. Tris, this is my excuse to get a 55-inch.
Nope.
Just declining the 55-inch in here. You know what? I might just get an old school TV instead of this new stuff. Because this is not working. Please check input connection, blah, 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 blah. Wow, this is not going to work. I really hope it's the unit and not the actual TV that is having trouble. Let's try AB. Okay, what if I hit play on it and just see if it starts going from there? All right, we're on VCR. We are gonna try. Okay. Ah, now AV worked. All right, so. All right, this thing must be super picky. I swear I did not do this the other night. Not working. All right, what is going on? All right, I'm gonna try a different one. This literally did not do this the other night. I do not know what's going on right now.
Okay.
All right.
See you later.
Love you.
Bye, YouTubes.
Let's say bye to the YouTubes.
I don't think I can kiss you on the internet. It's weird. Air kiss.
She's like, no, I can't do it. It's so funny. Be kind, please rewind. Yes. Oh man. So this was a great way to start out a video. All right, we're gonna try different. Really hope it's not TV. All right. It powers on. That's a good start. We've got audio out. We've got video out. Okay. Round 2. Should be on AB. Yes. I really hope it's just that unit, which would be weird. Let's just test that yesterday. Oh yeah, PS, always check, make sure there's no DVD or VHS already in it, because I've found several that way before. All right, so we should be good if we just hit on AV. All right, it works, done. So it's that unit for some reason. And when I have that happen, that's just super weird that it did. When I have that happen, I just set it aside, and then I have post-it notes that I can go through and put on there. So I'll go through and like thoroughly retest and just double check I had everything plugged in the exact way it should be, and go from there. So we got VHS in. And I think I may actually have that on the wrong audio portion. Ta-da!
I've been waiting for this day.
All right, so a couple things when it comes to. Let me turn that down.
Today, I've joined the gods. You've done wonderfully.
All right, so when it comes to letting this play, I have learned through experience that sometimes these things will have glitches within them, or there's just something hardware-wise not functioning the right way. Because I've had I had one time a few weeks ago, I sold a VCR that I did this with. I plugged it in, tested, but I only let it run for like 5 seconds, and I just thought, hey, it turns on, there's sound, it's good. Sold it, and the customer said that after about 30 seconds, it started to skip on the inside. Something was catching the actual VHS, so then I had to get it returned. So that's why I started just letting a movie play for more than just a few seconds, make sure everything's smooth on it. So that looks good to me as far as that part goes. Actually, I completely skipped my own testing for what I usually do. You want to go through part 2, make sure that buttons actually work too, because sometimes you'll have like a rewind or a fast forward that doesn't exactly work. So we are going to go fast forward. Good there. Play. I'm going to go through rewind. And again, I let it run just for a few extra seconds, make sure it's not going to tweak out on me. Good there. Stop button works, and we are good on that unit. This one actually has plugins in the front that I didn't even see. So VHS checks out. And we're gonna go through DVD portion. Yeah, don't get flagged for the content. YouTube's gonna pick up my background noise, like, you can't put Hercules on the audio. All right, so now we'll plug in the Matrix. All right, if you guys have questions, drop those below. I'll come back through in between. If you want a TV, just go for like a 5-minute drive. You'll see like 10 on the side of the road. Choose any of your liking. Josh, are you in the area? That's so funny. Yeah, cables. I think on that's so weird because that worked 2 nights ago when I tried it out. So something wasn't plugged in right on this, so I'm gonna have to go back through and do that. is the plug in the back plugged into the DVD VCR combo. That may not have been plugged in the actual slot. A lot of times with these, let me grab this. So a lot of the times you'll have multiple different rows of plugins. So just make sure you're gonna be plugging those in on the right one. So I probably just put it in on the wrong component line up there. And then I did plug it into the front, which is the main component, which is why it's weird that didn't work. But again, I don't know, so I'll have to go back through and double check. All right, so we're good on this. Again, if you don't have a remote for the unit, you can't like thoroughly go through and do a lot, but what you can do is it usually will automatically default, DVDs will default to play. So I can go through and make sure that the play button works again, the stop, all that kind of stuff. Most of the time, I have not ran into a different issue with it, but most of the time, if your play, your start, your stop, and your rewind, fast forward, all those buttons work on a VHS, it's going to work on the DVD. I'm OCD, so I have to check it on both. I'm not saying that's a requirement, but if you want to go a little extra mile with your testing, then that's one way to do it. God, I have not watched The Matrix all the way through in so long. I need to do a Matrix night. Tell you what, here's what we'll do. I have a projector. Let's do a huge projector up on the wall in our warehouse, and I'll just do open invite. We can get couches and all that kind of stuff lined up. How fun would that be? Do a resellers movie night. That'd be a blast. I want to know who is buying these VCRs. Here's what I've learned. Like, I just stop asking why. I've got no idea why people pay what they pay for the stuff that they buy. No idea. But what I do know, as long as there's a demand for certain types of products that people are willing to pay money for, I'm gonna go hunt those suckers down. All right, so this unit checks out. Makes me happy. We are good. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna create a little pile on the ground and go from there. Now, like I stated earlier, you can get cheap cables. Walmart sells them. If you want to get them new, Walmart sells them. I think it's $6 or $7 at Walmart for a new one. They're the same ones I'm using right now. It's $6 or $7 for that. If you want to do new, if you want to go used, thrift stores, Goodwills carry a lot of them. So you can, of course, just make sure you test the cord itself, make sure it's clean, and you can put that in there with it too. A lot of Goodwills will sell them around here for like $2 or $3. So that's one thing you can do. All right, so I'm gonna start a little pile, go from there. So, question, do you guys like, we still got people in here, so first of all, thank you guys for hanging out. Do you guys like when I just hit play on my phone and you guys can just watch what I'm doing behind the scenes? I'm just trying to find the right type of content flow for me right now. And right now it's just not putting out like professional tutorial videos because that takes a lot of extra time that I just don't have to commit to it right now. So one thing I can do is at least just document behind the scenes like this. So I'm just curious if you guys actually get value out of these types of videos too. Has anyone bought component? That's a really good question. Has anyone bought component cables in bulk from AliExpress? I would be super curious about that because that thought ran through my head and I don't know why I didn't look into it a little bit more. But since I'm going to be doing this on a little bit bigger scale, like this account, this electronics account, the challenge is to make $10,000 profit, which is really not that hard to do. The goal though, right, that's the challenge. The goal on that account, I want this to be a 6-figure earner per year just on that one account alone. So to get to that point, I'm going to need a lot of cables. So if AliExpress works, I would definitely like to see if anyone's done that before. Raw videos are the best, shows the ups and downs of the hustle. That's true. This is the reality. Like, there's a lot of fanciness and highlights to the reselling world that you'll see all over the internet. This isn't fancy. This isn't a highlight. This is what the average day and night has been looking like for me doing this electronics account. Sourcing is the fun part. Like sourcing is a whole different style of video I can do for you. I'm gonna go live and show you guys how I snipe my deals, the verbiage I'm using, that kind of stuff. So sourcing is the fun part. That's the fancy part. That's like, man, when you get something that's posted for like 40 bucks, you offer 20 and they accept, and then you sell it for like 100. Like that's such a great moment. But this is behind the scenes, and this is why most people don't make it more than like 6 months trying to resell stuff, because this takes time, it takes effort, it's hard. Some people have crazy lives. Some people got kids and a family. Some people have the full-time job and the family. Like there's a lot of moving pieces to this. It's just, that's how it goes. Like you've got to be willing to do this stuff in order to build a bigger business. All right, so let me get to, you guys, I'm just quickly scrolling through questions because I do want to get through and start testing more of these. So if I do miss a question that you really want answered, I haven't answered, you can just post that again so I can see it. The chat bumps up. Question, do you guys only sell VCRs, DVD combos on eBay or on Amazon as well? These ones specifically are for eBay. And it's just because it's part of that $10,000 challenge account. I could probably make, I would even be willing to say upwards of 50% more money if I sold these all on Amazon versus eBay. But to show beginners that it can be done on eBay, because if a beginner opens up an Amazon account and says, oh, Chaz is selling these on Amazon, I want to do that too. A new account is going to be restricted in Sony, JVC, Samsung, etc. So I wanted to show firsthand experience, like on a brand new eBay account, which I made, new eBay account, new PayPal account. Anyone can go out, and as long as you're willing to do the work, you can make money with it. I'm not saying it's easy money. I'm not saying it's not going to take extra time. That's just part of the ball game. Yeah, it's a lot of work that some people just don't understand. That is true. We have 2 eBay accounts. Our primary account, Trista does a lot of used clothing on, and we do a few hard goods stuff, but mostly the clothing. And then we have our second account, which is now this electronics account. This account is less than 2 months, or it's probably coming up on the I think it's 7 weeks old now. 7 weeks. I've put in, honestly, guys, I've put in like less than 5 hours. If I include the drive time for the sourcing, if I put in the time that it takes to clean and test and ship and create the listings, I've probably put in less than 5 hours a week. And there's been some weeks where I don't put in any work because we moved our office and we just had a crazy schedule going on for a while. So there was like 2 or 3 weeks where I really didn't do a whole lot on that account. But then there was times where I put in a lot of time and a lot of effort, and we made good money. So we're up to just shy of $6,000 in sales on that account, and I started with $100. So profit, I haven't done my Excel sheet yet. The last time I checked, we were at $2,500 profit, so we're probably closer to like $3,500 now, and that was all based on $100. Yes, I want to touch base on this. What's tough now is that people are hip to the game on sites like OfferUp and Letgo. It's hard to find cheap VCRs anymore. Here's the thing. A lot of people are watching this account because I'm posting it all on a separate Instagram as well. So if you don't know, you can follow 100 to 10K Challenge. That's the account name, 100 to 10K Challenge. Go on there and follow it. And a lot of people are thinking that I'm sniping these deals on the first shot or like easily. I want to be very clear that I spend multiple times a day scouring through Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, OfferUp. I have not gotten into Letgo or 5 Mile yet, but I'm going to start working with those apps a little bit more, see if there's much around here on those. But those are my top 3 is Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp, and Craigslist. I spend a lot of time browsing through multiple times a day, putting out offers. And I did a post, I think it was on our main Instagram account, Side Hustle Pros. Did a post, I think it was last week. And I mentioned, like, I get told no, or it sells to somebody else most of the time. The time I'm scoring stuff like this is because I was consistent, I negotiated a deal, and it just took patience. And of course I have to meet up and go drive out and pick up this stuff too. So don't ever think that you can watch a video like this, like, oh my gosh, he scored all these things and it must have been so easy. Like each of these came from a different seller. Each of these came from a different place. Some of these came from estate sales, some garage sales, some Facebook marketplace. There's a whole skew of stuff that went in here. So don't ever think it's like you can scroll through marketplace one time like, well, there's not much around here, it doesn't work. You've got to check every day and stay consistent with it to find those deals. And when you find the stuff that's worth buying, you're not the only one hunting this stuff down. So what you need to keep in mind is this is a game of speed. If I get an iPhone 8 that gets posted up for like 250 bucks, man, I got to be on that thing quick or it's getting sold to somebody else that's going to then flip it for 400 or 500. So that's the game. It's a game of speed, and it's a speed that it's not easy. It's a speed that a lot of people aren't used to, and it's a speed that can burn a lot of people out. I've got this weird wired brain where I love this shit. I love the sourcing. I love the speed of it. I love the cleaning and the testing in a weird way. It's almost relaxing, but that's just me personally. I found what works for me. So just because this works for me doesn't mean you can then copy the exact strategy I have and do the exact same results, because you might hate doing this ball game. Private label might be your ball game. Wholesale might be your ball game. Retail arbitrage, online arbitrage. You need to find what your ball game is going to be that you love playing, because this is mine right now. I love this stuff. Sometimes it's late nights, like tonight it's going to be a late night, and that's fine because it's part of the grind. I love it. And that's one thing people can't take from you. If you love something, like no one can take that from you. Do it, follow it. How much do I pay for VCRs? Typically $5 to $10, unless it's a higher ticket one. Like I mentioned earlier, this one should sell for a minimum of $150. So I paid $25 for that. Same thing with these two over here. So there's definitely exceptions. Ah, cool. We got another Beaverton person in here. What's up, T-Bone? What is your number one tip for getting electronics to move? I have 4 receivers and DVD players and can't get any bites. All of them work, but not selling. My number one tip is buy products. This isn't just electronics. This is for a lot of different categories too. Buy products that are in demand and show actual sales history that are multiple times a month. Because if you find a VCR and you look up the comps and you see that there's a few listings, a couple solds for like 80 bucks and you can buy it for 20, you're like, oh my gosh, great, I'm gonna sell this thing for $80. But then it sits. You've got to ask yourself if it's a pricing thing. You've got to ask yourself your photos, your listing, your description, your title, all that. It's a combo lock. There's not one tip I can really give to improve that, because it really is a combo lock. You got to have the right photo, the right title, the right price, and that right customer has to come along, and that combination lock just comes together and they purchase. But with that being said, buy stuff that shows sales history. I see too many people making a mistake, and I used to do this all the time. They're only looking at products that are listed at a certain price. I don't care what sellers are asking, I care what buyers are paying. So I'm always going by sold comps. If there's no sold comps, typically, unless it's a rare item, I don't buy stuff that isn't selling multiple times a month. And then from there, it's just going to be a game of, do you want to run a promotion on it? Do you want to run a sale? You can run ads to it, Facebook ads. You can get into that world. There's all kinds of little like tactics you can add into the mix. But for the most part, I'm not doing any ads, no promotions. I haven't ran a sale on that eBay account yet. My stuff is selling because I'm buying stuff that is in demand. It's showing sales happening. I'm not buying slow movers. I'm probably leaving a lot of money on the table because I'm not buying slow movers. But for this account, I want to be able to flip stuff pretty quick. So that's my take on it. I wish I can give you one specific tip. And there might be other people, there might be other channels, Instagrammers, there might be other people that can give you that one tip that helps you out. But my personal opinion is it's not one combo. It's not one number in the combination. that makes that sale happen. It's literally just the right combination of everything coming together for you and that right customer seeing it. Is really what it comes down to. But I'm a big component. I got cables on my mind. Component. I'm a big proponent of really good photos. Like, I just use my phone. You guys are on my iPhone 8 right now, so I just use my phone. I use 3 lights, 2 coming from the sides, 1 from up top, and a like vinyl plasticky white background that reflects the light really well. So I take its best photo of as I can, especially the main photo. I take the best photo that I can for that main photo, and then I'm making sure that I'm just pricing competitively, and I'm making sure my title has all the major keywords I need for that listing. That's like my top 3 that I focus on. Can you bargain at a thrift store? Heck yeah, you can. Bargain wherever you can. I bargained with I missed my payment on a credit card, and they called me and they're like, "Hey, you missed your payment. Can you make a payment today?" And I said, "No, I can't make it at this moment. I'm not going to do it over the phone because I like to do everything online." And she's like, "Okay, no problem. Well, if you can make that right now, we can do a $25 credit extra towards your account." I'm like, "All right. That's not going to work for me right now, but if you could do $50, then I could do that. I can do it over the phone." And she took the $50. Like, I negotiate wherever I can. I don't care where it's at, unless it's Walmart or like a retail store. That's a little tough to negotiate there. But thrift stores, heck yeah, definitely thrift stores. You can do that. I've tried at Goodwill. That was a no-go. I'd be curious, has anyone tried to negotiate at Goodwill and won? That's what I would ask. All right, let's get number 2 plugged in. This thing, I don't know. I'm just gonna have to retest this one later. All right. This Pride and Joy. Oh man, I'm so excited for this. So I ordered a remote for this one. And I also ordered a heavier set of the cables, not like the cheap Walmart stuff. But I ordered like a nice set. Because this thing, hopefully, I'm actually going to run the comps on this live right now. eBay.com. And I'll just show you guys kind of like my thought process when I'm looking stuff up. Like, this is how simple I keep this business model. My computer's not working. All right. This is how simple I keep my business model on this thing. Well, crap. So we just moved into this warehouse unit and our Wi-Fi is down, so I'm doing everything off my hotspot, and it's kind of sketchy sometimes. All right, we're in. So I'm gonna go to eBay. And for those that just, maybe you're new and you don't know how to do this, I'll just share with you what I do. So look up the model. So this is JVC HR S 9500U. Type that in, search it. Oh, such a good buy. The first listing that pops up is $299 plus 35 shipping. Now, if you're new and you don't know the eBay world yet, the listings you see pop up, man, somebody's got this listed for $400. What you see on those first results are not what customers are paying. That's what sellers are asking. Those are current active listings. On the left-hand side, if you're on your computer, it's different if you're on your phone. On your computer, you're gonna scroll on the left. I'm gonna filter down to sold listings because I wanna see what customers are actually paying. This just sold on September 2nd for $181.46 and 35 shipping. So the total sale price is over $200. Somebody sold one for parts for $40 plus 17 shipping. Somebody on August 24th bought one for $151 plus 37 shipping. August 16th was $249. And this is about when I bought it. I bought it in July. So in July, I saw on June 23rd, there was one that sold for $180. So that told me somebody out there is willing to pay 180. Someone else has got to be willing to do that too. And I looked this up on Google and did a little researching on it and just found it's a hard to find unit. That's why people pay more for it. So now that I can see it sold a few more times since June, that's really good news. So this guy sold it for 181 plus 35 just on the 2nd of this month. So I'm gonna price this at $200, free shipping. He had the original remote. I don't have the original one that came with it. It was the same beige color or gold color. I just have a remake one that I bought. So I'm probably not gonna be able to sell it for as much there, but I'm gonna list this at $199.99, free shipping, see how it does, is what I'm personally gonna do. And if you guys wanna follow that account, that's a public account, by the way. I don't care if people go follow that one. You can see my exact listings and how simple I keep those things. It's SHP Tech is what you can look up, and that's where you'll see this one listed within the next couple days, probably. Maybe not a couple days. I got to go through and clean and all that kind of stuff. I'll get it listed within the next week. So that's what I'm looking at when I'm looking up sold comps. If this only had one sold listing in its entire history and it was lower than the 180, that's where I'm gonna start to Google a little bit more and see what the past solds may have been on different platforms, what people are currently asking on different platforms, etc. Again, I'm not doing Amazon on any of this because I know some people are like, oh, what are the comps on Amazon? You can look this stuff up, but this is for that eBay account. So that's how I look at my comps on this stuff. And all the other ones too, same scenario. I'm looking for things that are actually selling. Just because I get it at a good price and I might be able to sell it for $100 doesn't mean it will. So I need to make sure I'm buying stuff that is showing a history of actual sales. So I actually have not tested this yet, so I'm gonna plug this in. The thrift store I bought this at, can you guys hear me okay if I'm further back, by the way? I feel like I have to be like right by my phone in order to pick up audio. So I got this at a thrift store outside of Tillamook. If you're in the Oregon area, you know Tillamook on the coast. So I had a thrift store in Tillamook. I found this in the back, like underneath stuff. But I saw this gold plate and I thought, that is different. That's got to be worth something. So I pulled it out. It had an orange sticker on it, which in their thrift store means they tested it. So I just took his word for it. So now we're going to see if it actually works. I'm going to power on. This has the component cables right here in the front. So I'm going to grab components here, plug this in. I'm going to be so happy if this thing sells for my asking price. All right, go through the TV stuff again. All right, we're good. Make sure there's nothing in it. So this thing, so here's also here's a tip for you guys too. When you've got stuff that has a display, make sure you can clearly see it, because I can see this blinking auto, but the A is solid. My camera won't pick it up or I would show you. The A is solid and then it fades out and then the O is solid. So there's something in the screen that's not, does this fold out? This folds out. So the screen's got a slight like fade just in that middle text. So that's something that I put on a post-it note on here. So when I create the listing, I put that in the listing. You always want to let customers know ahead of time right up front if there's any flaws. Because if I didn't state that and a customer paid $200 for this and they got it and they had an expectation it was in great condition and it didn't have that, they're not gonna be too happy. So you always want to make sure that you're making notes of any flaws. Scratches, always take photos of like scratches and dings. Stuff like this, I mean, it's an old unit, so it's gonna have wear and tear on it. So I'm taking photos of like the different wear that's going on. And just try to be as clear with your customers as you can. So aside from that, let's pop this guy in. All right, it's making noise, so that's a good thing. This TV, I swear. I'm gonna just get an old school TV. I'm gonna get a big old boxy thing to do all my testing on. All right. AV cables. This TV, legit, is a piece of crap. LG, if you're watching this, let's try the old school like channel 2 thing. No, I don't want to auto tune. I told you guys this was going to be behind the scenes. I'm not doing any editing on this video. This is the kind of stuff I've been having to deal with the last couple nights. All right, let's go back to 3D cables. We are plugged in. Oh my gosh. Watch this. Watch this, watch this. Signal. This is why you test your stuff. When I was brand spanking new, I did not thoroughly test stuff. Huge mistake I made because I had tons of customer returns because I would just buy stuff, plug it in, make sure it turned on the screen, and then send it to Amazon. Now this was 3 years ago. Amazon was a different ball game back then, but you can't just trust that it turns on and it works. You've got to make sure that you can connect this from the customer's experience and make sure it's going to work thoroughly. If this was not going to work and I did all this, I can still list it for parts and just state clearly in my listing that it was plugged in and just state that I couldn't get it to work on the actual TV if you want to go down that road, or you can just donate it. You know, it's funny. It's like you get all this new tech and you can't beat some of the old stuff. Like if I had an old school box TV, this would not be happening right now. Is anyone else seeing this? It shows my AV cables are plugged in. All right, so we're gonna try a different one. We'll try from the back. There you go. Okay. So this is good to know. My front ones are not working. Audio. All right, so that's good to know. That's a prime example of stuff that can happen. The other thought that I had, no, that's should be the same setup. Yeah, I don't know why that's happening. But as far as I could tell, this works perfectly fine from there. Why it's not working from the front, I have no idea. This could be input. Let me see if that was output. All right, so there's both an output and an input on this back side. The front side does not state if it's input or output. It could be an input, which is why it wouldn't be going out to the TV. That's just what my guess would be. If anyone has experience with this stuff that knows more than I do, which is a good chance. I'm not an expert in this stuff, by the way, guys. Not an expert at all. I'm just showing you raw, like this is what I've been playing around with. So I'm leaning towards that's gotta be an input, if anything. Ah, Walter, okay. So the front ones are inputs, back ones are for the outputs. All right, sweet. So that's definitely like, if you guys are paying attention, that's knowledge bomb right there if you're gonna be getting into this kind of stuff. Anything on the front looks like it's gonna to be an input. All right, sweet. So that is the official. I'm just scrolling through here real quick. Reselling with Rob said they can both be outputs. It's true, because I've hooked ones up before from the front that worked. I think just on this particular unit, and this is where a manual would come in handy, by the way. You can just Google a manual for this and look and see, because it doesn't state on it if that's an input. Most of the time they do. This one doesn't for some reason. But as far as I can tell, from the main back output, everything works fine. So let's call this one good. And again, I'm not cleaning these right now. I'm gonna make that for tomorrow. Oh, I almost unplugged without getting my video back. But now you guys can see why it's good to play around with all the buttons and the doodads, so you can just gain a knowledge base about this stuff. Like, I'm not an expert in this, but I'm learning. So having this knowledge base of like, hey, front ones might typically just be inputs alone. That's good stuff to know. So playing around with these is definitely going to be good. I did not test. Let me back up, because I just failed my own testing. I did not test the rewind and fast forward. Do I use, yes, the little canisters for compressed air. I've got tons of those. I've got like 8 of them. Yeah, definitely use those. All right, so let's go back to play. Are we still hooked up? Nope. Gotta get hooked up. All right. Yeah, so air dusters are probably my best friend right now. Screen cleaner solution is another really good thing to have. And then a microfiber cloth for the screens. And then just like a rag if you got like lots of dirt and stuff. But yeah, those air dusters are awesome. Another key tool if you're gonna be doing electronics is a toothbrush. A toothbrush gets into those crevices so well. All right, so we want to make sure that we're doing good on that. Rewind. Good on that. Let's play again. All right. So this unit is good, which makes me happy because it's expensive. Am I selling those monitors in the back? No, I am not. Those monitors back there, my speakers, those are called the Rocket 5s, and those blast our entire warehouse with tunes. Definitely not selling those ones. All right. Holy crap, you guys. We got 85 people still watching. Thank you for being here, seriously. And I don't even know what time we are as far as how long the video has been going. Maybe it shows on my phone. Okay, so we've been going for 1 hour and 13 minutes. Do you guys want me to continue going? I mean, I'll be up here for 2 hours if you guys want me to. Like, I didn't do any of this for the video. Like, I was gonna do this anyways. I figured I'd just turn my camera on and see if you guys want to hang out. But if you guys get value out of like these longer streams of just behind the scenes work, then yeah, I'm more than happy to do them for you. I know some people don't like long videos or this type of video, and that's okay. I'll do shorter tutorial videos on this stuff. Like I'll do short 5-minute split clips showing you how to do all this. So if you just like the short to the point tutorials, I can do that for you too. But for this point in time, I'm just gonna chill here. All right, you guys are cool with hanging out. I am too. I've got our toddlers taken care of tonight. Trista is amazing. and gave me full permission just to have my own work night and get done whatever I want to get done. I'm actually flying out to Vegas on Monday, which is why I'm hustling at night right now. Usually I don't work too late into the night because I do have a 3-year-old. I've got a wife. Try to have somewhat of a personal life too. It's always nice. So I've been trying to cut off the warehouse time at like 7 most days. Sometimes it doesn't happen, and that's part of the ball game, but you've got to have clear communication if that's the case. So Tristan and I have clear communication. I told her, like, I'm flying out on Monday. I've got all these electronics I want to get done. I want to get these listed by the time that I leave. Or even better is I want to have all these done photoed. That way when I'm on the plane or waiting in the airport, then I can post them when I'm on my trip. So that's why I'm hustling at night right now. So I have the whole night to myself. I'll be here as long as you guys want me here. How about that? And P.S. I haven't locked down the time or location, and I haven't even done an announcement or anything about it. But I am going to be in Vegas Monday night, and I fly out 6 a.m. on Thursday. So really, it's just Monday night through Wednesday night. I've got a conference I'm going to Tuesday and Wednesday. But if anyone is in the Las Vegas area, shoot me an email, chaz@sidehustlepros.com, and that's CHAZ@sidehustlepros.com. And I can actually just set up a quick little dinner meetup, and we'll just do a little Vegas night meetup. So if you're in the Vegas area and you want to get together, that'd be fun. We'll probably plan on like Monday night when I'll basically get off the plane, check in my hotel, and just go straight to dinner. So let's plan on like Monday night or something like that. So if anyone's in Vegas, just shoot me a message on email or Instagram at Side Hustle Pros. I'll get you taken care of. All right, good old Samsung. Do you guys want me to run comps on each of these while I do them so you guys can see what I'm probably going to sell them for? I'm just thinking in terms of like what the stuff I like to watch, I want to start doing more of myself, which is a lot of behind the scenes stuff. So I'll just run quick comps and just show you guys what I'm looking at. If you want to follow along, you can. So we're looking at a Samsung. Here we are. Samsung DVD dash V9800. And if you're looking under sold listings, we're looking at here's a perfect example. I love this. Today's the 7th. So yesterday, 1, 2, 3. Yesterday alone, 3 of these sold. The day before that was 1 sale, 2 sales on the 4th, 1 sale on the 3rd, 1 sale on the, or 3 sales on the 1st. This is what I mean by you've got to buy stuff that is in demand. If this only had like 2 comps in the last 90 days, yeah, you can buy it, you can list it. It's not selling fast. It shows you right there in the data. But the data right here is telling me this thing is selling at least 1 time a day, sometimes 2 or 3 times a day. So if I come in here with a great photo, or photos, of course you want to fill up as many photos as you can, but a great main photo, if you take a great photo, pair it with the right price and the right title, which the titles are easy, guys. You pair that with the right title and you put your right price point in there, man, like this thing's going to sell. It's a given. This thing would probably sell within the next week if I post it tonight. And it's selling for $79.99, $84.99, $44.95 plus $35 shipping. So they definitely made some good change on that. $69.97. We have an $89.98, $54.99 plus $33 shipping. So you guys can see this is selling for an easy $80. $80 is a really good competitive price point on this. And I only paid $10 for this at a garage sale. So after my fees and my shipping, when I'm dealing with VCRs, amplifiers, receivers, that kind of stuff, I'm usually factoring in about $30 for shipping. That's my math that I run. So I know that I'm going to have 13% for my eBay and my PayPal fees, and then I'm going to have on the higher end like $30, maybe $35 for shipping if I'm doing FedEx, SmartPost, or home delivery. And I paid $10. So I know I'm going to make a minimum of probably about a 25 to 30 profit just on this, off of a $10 buy cost. And as long as I do that right combo lock for this, which the data is right there, it tells me what customers want, that is going to sell pretty quick. So that's kind of my thought process when I'm looking this stuff up. Mark asked, I love that. Mark asked, how do you handle returns? You cry for a day. It's about right. How do I handle returns? Just take them. It's part of the business. Electronics, I'm finding, do have a higher return rate. We've had, how many things have we sold? I want to give you guys accurate numbers. I don't like just like putting out what I think or remember it was. I'm just going to give you guys accurate numbers here. So we've sold, I'm going to go all orders. We've sold 72 items in the last, I think this account is 6 or 7 weeks old. So we've sold 72 items. We have had days. So we've had 2, 5, we've had 7 returns. One of the returns was $190 for a Bose Bluetooth headset. So, do the returns suck? Absolutely. But we are playing the ball game of being involved with the customer, and the customers, unfortunately, they're always going to be right. The main reason why people are returning stuff, I can show it right here. Doesn't match description, doesn't work, arrived damage. Are those 100% true? No, because I thoroughly test everything. I make sure it works. I make sure everything holds a charge. If it's like a, like the Bluetooth headset, the guy messaged and said it didn't hold a charge. Charged it myself, put it on for a good chunk of time, so I know that thing holds a charge. It's just dealing with customers. That's part of the ball game. It's you either accept it or you don't. This is why, again, there's so many reasons why people don't do this ball game, and customer returns are another part of it. They suck, but that's why you've got to expect returns. You've got to accept them as part of the process, and you've got to keep a wiggle room of cash in your PayPal account because of returns. If I went out and drained my PayPal account and bought a bunch of stuff and I drained it down to 0, and then I got returns like this, that would suck, because then it's coming out of my personal banking or my credit card. So you got to make sure that you are keeping a little bit of a cash cushion just in case of returns. That's just part of the process. Do I retest and resell? Yes, absolutely. Sometimes if it's gonna cost so much to ship back, like I had one of the returns was a receiver. These things weigh like 20 pounds on some of these older receivers. They weigh 20, 30, 40 pounds sometimes. So if it's gonna cost so much to ship back, because I do free returns, free shipping. So if it's gonna cost me that much more to ship back, and then by the time I resell it, I'm gonna be up like 10 or 15 bucks, like it's not worth it. So I'll tell them to keep the unit and I'll give them a refund. And that's just me personally. I know a lot of people are gonna say, oh, that's a horrible business model. You don't wanna do that. It's like, well, it may not be the best, but this is what works for me. And it's in the numbers, like the numbers don't lie. My whole Excel sheet proves, like even after my returns, we spent $100 to start this account, and only using the profits from the original $100, we're up over $2,000 profit after returns, after fees, after shipping. It's work, takes time, takes patience, consistency, but it works. Ooh, reselling with Rob, thanks man. Say, just tag me on IG on what I use instead of compressed air cans. That is awesome. If someone returns saying something isn't working, but then you test it and it works, do you go back to eBay and try to at least get the shipping costs back? If you want to fight it, you can. You can open up a case and if they want to prove it or something like that, go through and do that. But yeah, me personally, like I've only had 7 returns, so I'm not too worried about it right now. If it gets to the point where I have like hundreds of dollars stacking up, then yeah, I'll open up some cases and fight it. Sold a receiver for $575 with 55 shipping. Shipping was $98 because it went to Seattle and New Hampshire. Weighed 87 pounds. Holy cow. Man, some of these, the vintage electronics, like, some of these things weigh so much. It's crazy. But it's funny because playing around with receivers now and testing them, like the sound quality is so good on those old units. I'm probably going to keep, I have one of them that I tested. I love the sound of it. I think I'm going to keep it here in the office and hook that up to my monitor speakers right there. My camera's reversed, so I keep like trying to point over here. Yeah, the amp in those things, I mean, the units are just so heavy. All right. So you guys saw the numbers on this. I guarantee I'll sell this for about $80. I might, if I need to, I might go down to like 72 to 75, but I'm pretty sure based on the data that we just looked at, I can sell this for $80, especially because this thing is in really good condition. It's got a few dings and scratches on it, but I'll put that in the listing. Stuff that sells for $80, I'm going to make sure that I include cords with this, so my cost does go up a little bit. So I'll spend like $3 or $4 on a new set of cords. If it's going to sell for over 100, I will then purchase a remote for it as well. And remotes you can get for like $8 to $10 on average on eBay. Most of the time you can find universal remotes that go for these for $8 to $10. So if I'm going to sell for anything for over $100, yeah, I'm going to take really good care of it and make sure that it has a remote with it as well. Typically, if you include a remote and cables, you can list your price up a little bit more too. So it's not like you're really going to lose money. You can kind of factor in that buy cost into the whole package. And that's just personal preference if you want to do that. I know plenty of people that they just sell the unit as is, no cords, nothing, and they do fine with it. All right, so let's get this guy going. This is a combo again. Cords. Make sure I'm on my input and output. Line in, line out. So if you guys are new to like the electronics side, if you caught on earlier, you heard us talking about the input and output. That just means you've got one line that brings a video stream or feed into the unit. So if you're hooking up something like a camcorder and you want to watch footage on your TV, your camcorder goes into the unit and then it goes out to the TV. So when you do your cords on here, you've got an input and an output. So you always want to go output on that. I'm thinking that's what I messed up on that very first one that we tried out. I think I accidentally put that in the output for some reason, or input for some reason. But we'll go back and retest that one later. All right, and I need to plug this in. How are you guys doing tonight? You guys have been seeing what I'm up to. What are you guys up to? Holy cow. I don't know if you guys can hear that. It's starting to rain already. We haven't seen rain in, I don't even know how long now. It's been weeks since we've seen any rain. It's supposed to pour down over the next like 24 hours. Do I need a reseller's license to sell on Amazon, eBay? Technically, no. It's very handy to have because then you can get a tax exempt with stores like Walmart. Target's a no. Target does not like resellers, by the way, but you can definitely get your reseller certificate, permit. Like there's different, if you want to go down that road and do that. Is it required? No. It's definitely handy to have though. We're fortunate here in Oregon. We don't have a reseller certificate. We don't have sales tax, so we're in a really sweet spot here. We got Kiki Mom in here. What's up? Sent you a bolo on Facebook. Sweet. I'll check that out. Yes, that's a really good thing I should probably start doing. If you guys are not following Craigslist Hunter, by the way, #1 channel that I subscribe and watch pretty much on a daily basis. I'm always picking through his stuff. Love watching. This is kind of like the type of content I love watching is what he produces, because he'll put his camera up and just show behind the scenes stuff going on. That's kind of what inspired like me to start doing more of these for you. Yeah, so Craigslist Hunter prints out a manual and then puts a couple of blank VHS to sweeten the pot. That's actually a really solid idea, because I've probably got about 80 blank VHS tapes right now, factory sealed. So that's actually not a bad idea, and I think I might do that on these ones. So Mark, thanks for the inspiration on that. Given that shipping is can't even talk. Given that shipping is so expensive, is this something you could do Amazon FBA to save on cost? Yes, absolutely. It would be way, way, way cheaper to just box all this up and give it to Amazon. It's gonna be a lot cheaper and you'll make a little bit more money. Like I've stated a few times, if you weren't here, these are going to a specific eBay account because of doing that 10K challenge. Haha, nice. We got someone from Eugene. Yeah, we got family in Eugene, so we're down there. Not a ton, but we go down every couple months. You guys got some awesome thrift stores down there. What do we have going on here? All right, I don't have a mod, so I have to go through and hide some people. That's what happens when I come into a unannounced live stream. I have to mod it. All right, you do not need a reseller's license to buy retail arbitrage and sell on Amazon. No, it's not a requirement, but you can definitely benefit from it because you'll get sales tax exempt if you have a reseller's certificate. And you have to go through Walmart. Walmart has a part of their website where you have to go through and apply for that. I don't have a need to do it because we don't have sales tax here or a reseller certificate, so I don't have to do it. So I don't know the exact process, but I know Walmart has a little place on their website you can do it. All right, sweet, let's do it. Going back to testing. All right. Oh, I turned it off, it was already on. We got this plugged in. I left my VHS in this one. That's what I get for getting sidetracked. What possible profit would you pay to fix a combo unit? I've never gotten one repaired. I have no idea what it costs to repair a unit. I guess it just depends how much the cost would be. Like, I don't know. Give me more information. Oh, what's up, Brandon? Yeah, give me more information. Like, do you know about how much it's going to cost? Do you know what's wrong with it? Yeah, reselling with Rob would know a little bit more about the fixing on that part. Yeah, I mean, if it's not going to take much time and it's really not going to be that expensive and you're going to make a solid profit, then yeah, go for it. And again, each person's standards are different. Some people would fix something if they can make a $20 profit. Some people have a minimum of like $50 profit. So that's a little different for each one. All right, let me get this going. All right, so good here. See if we have any. We might have like someone's old DVD in here. Let's see if we can find one. All right, so it brings up the main thing there, so that's a good sign. Let's get to testing. I left the matrix in the other one, didn't I? Oh, nope, I took it out. All right, this one's good as far as that goes. We're gonna fast forward. Can you guys even see that well? Oh, I guess you can. All right, see this one? I don't know if that's just... So it's pausing when I hit the forward button. I'm holding it down to see if that works. Let's try to rewind. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can see it that well, but it's kind of tweaking on me when I try to fast forward or rewind. And I'm playing around with both, like holding, some of them you hold them down. I haven't seen many like that, but some you hold down. For the most part, you don't have to mess around with that too much. All right, so I'm gonna hit play and try to reset this a little bit. All right, let's try again. All right, it works. Let's try to rewind. All right, so it's weird. So play. All right, so it seems to be working fine. I'm gonna do rewind one more time on that. Play. All right, so we're clear on that. Switch over DVD. So thankful for your son to be able to test them out. Yeah, there's a lot of people that would not do this kind of work, by the way. There's a lot of people that just, you know, this is like ground floor foundation part of your business, right? This is the first thing you outsource, by the way. Like if you get to a point where you have cash flow coming in your business and you want to start spending more time doing more productive things, this is the stuff you would outsource. Cleaning, testing. If you're doing Amazon FBA, then hiring people to prep and ship your stuff. So they're doing the taking stickers off, putting FBA labels on, packaging and shipping. That's the kind of stuff that you outsource first. My goal, I could outsource this, but my goal with that account is, all right, so we're good on that. My goal with this electronics eBay account is I want to use only that account's funding to do anything that needs to be done for the electronics. So if I need to hire somebody to clean and test, I'm not using any other revenue stream of ours except for that electronics account. I want it to pay for itself. And it's not at a cash flow positive state enough yet where I can just hire somebody to do all this. So until I get more listings up and have more consistent sales coming in, that's when I start bringing people in and hiring out. All right, so we're gonna play. So far, so good. What do you do with someone saying it's broke? And how you know, hold on, make sure I'm reading this right. How do you do with someone saying it's broke and you know you did this much testing? It's part of the game. Like it sucks. Like I had that happen with a few returns so far. It does suck. You can't, if you want to go through the headache of opening up a case, I don't know. I've never done it with this type of stuff, so I don't know if eBay's going to ask for like proof that the item works. If anyone has experience with that, I'd be curious to know how that goes. But if they say it doesn't work, like, all right, here's your return, here's your refund, and move on. That's kind of how I do it. I forgot to put this little piece back on. All right, so we're good on play. We're good on both skips. Sweet. This one works. So being an $80 sell price on this guy, I'm definitely going to get a little cheap pair of cords to go with it. I really need to start doing it because I love that idea of printing off the manual for it and then also including like a blank VHS tape with it. Do we still have an employee helping? Yes, we do. We have somebody on the other eBay account because, again, it pays for itself. Anything we do in each business, we want the business to pay for itself. We don't want to have to bring in other sources of income to like throw at it. So yeah, that eBay account for the clothing, we have somebody that comes in, does all the photos for the clothing, all the measurements. So that was Trista's way of outsourcing that saved a ton of time for her to focus on the sourcing part, which is what she's really good at. And that's how you guys should kind of structure your business too. Like, we're resellers, so our main goal, our strength is sourcing. That should be what we spend the most amount of time doing. You can't do it in the beginning. You can't really outsource in the beginning, but that's your goal, is to be able to get to that point. All right, got these. All right, this unit is good. This guy. All right, this one is a 5-disc DVD-CD changer. This was a brand I've actually never sold before. I got this. Let me clarify. A lot of this is death pile stuff. I've had this for so long, I don't remember where I got it, but I do remember that I paid $10 for it. So let's look it up, see if it was a bad buy or not. So plug it in. All right, get this open. I'm always, ever since I had that spider incident with one of those DVD players, I'm always a little hesitant to open stuff like this. All right, we turned on. We got a screen, so that's good. There we go. Usually, reselling with Rob said, usually I will do a video on YouTube to prove it works. Although you can't put videos in listings anymore, I tell them to type in the title word for word in YouTube and they can see it for themselves. That's really awesome. It's a solid idea. Greetings from Troutdale. Nice. You're just about, what, an hour 15 from me? There we go. Anything in here? Nope. All right, let's put this guy in. We are in slot 2. I'm still waiting to see you guys show up at the local Salvo and Goodwill. We're not in Portland a ton, actually. Usually I stay kind of local down in this little like southern region. But I'm going to be, we've had a weird schedule the last like 6 weeks, but now that we're kind of settled into the new warehouse space, I'm getting back into like really focusing on this account, and that means more sourcing. So I want to get to the point where I'm out sourcing like 4 or 5 days a week. So I probably will be up in Portland a lot more. All right, so far so good. Oh yeah, we were gonna look up model on this. So this is I think that's an Accurian. Rob, you sold these before, Accurian? Or Accurin? Oh, I think it's Accurin. I can't tell if that's an I. It's got like a weird logo. All right, let me look this up. So it is All right, it is Accurian. ADP dash 7030. Yeah, so there are no sold comps on this model, which means, hold on, let me see if there's any active listings. So this is a prime example of a death pile item that I bought a while ago, that there's no sold listings within the last 90 days. There's one active listing for 59 plus 34 shipping. I'm actually curious if this is on Amazon. So in this point where I don't really have a price point to go by, like I have that one listing that the guy has it up for 60 plus 30, so it's up for like $94. So, I mean, that's one listing. I don't know if that's the accurate price. There's no sold history, so what I'm going to do is just Google it. Typically, you'll see other types of selling websites that might have some type of price point on it, and then you can also check on Amazon as well. Amazon's nice because if it's on Amazon, then we can look at Keepa to see what the replacement, or I just read the word replacement and that's what came out. You can see what the history looks like. All right, buyit.com. Let's see what this has. Out of stock, last retail price was $40, 2017. All right, I'm gonna go to Amazon, see if it's on here. The replacement remote is $30, somebody's asking. All right, so I cannot find this exact model, which means I really have, there was that one $40 price point, this is at 94, so if this has been listed for 94, I definitely think that's way too high. That's why there's no sales happening. You can also look at older or newer models of like the same type. So we're looking at Accurian ADP. So 35. Yeah, there's not a lot of these up. Let me check the chat. Has anyone messed with Accurian stuff before? I've actually never sold one of these, which is like a 5-disc changer. I've never sold these before. I keep seeing people post Chad. So I've been thinking you're talking to somebody else because I know we have a Chad in here. So much returns and confirm this one's me. Ah, Emmanuel, you used to live in Wilsonville. Nice. Yeah, not too far from there. Multis are notorious for skipping. It's actually a really good idea. So we're gonna do 5-disc changer. Just get like a general idea. And again, like this is raw behind the scenes. Like this is something I've not sold before. I mean, obviously works. So different, same type of product, but different brands. We're looking at $40, $50. Looks like a higher end Sony one went for $120. Got 50, 26, 30, 15, 64. So, I mean, and here's where I have to look at the numbers, right? So if I sell this for, $50, And I don't even know if this brand is like a good higher ticket item. So let's just look up a Curian. I just want to see generally what the brand is selling for. There might be different types, so let's type in a Curian player. So portable DVD player, $18.99. I'm iffy on this one. I mean, worst case scenario, like I'm curious, like I bought this so long ago, I'm curious what made me want to buy this. There may have been active comps back then, I don't know. Worst case scenario, I take some photos, I know it works. I take some photos, I put the listing up for like 50 bucks, see if it gets any watchers. Yeah, I like what Rob said, price it high and turn on best offer. There might be somebody out there that knows this brand as a customer and they like it and they want to go for it, so we'll see. Yeah, but I mean, tested, works, so that's good with me. We'll toss it up. If it sells, I'll do a follow-up on Instagram, show you guys. Make sure we test our skips, forward, back, pause, and all right, we're good. Works for me. And as far as I can tell, this thing rotates through smooth. Ah! You guys, I don't know how well you could have saw that. Almost ate my DVD. All right. And then when you're cleaning this kind of stuff, anything that has like the tray that comes out with DVD players inside of the VHS unit. Rob said he tagged me on Instagram, so I need to check that out. Something he uses besides compressed air, but usually just for now I've been doing compressed air and like a rag if it's got like dirt and stuff on there. I just had a boom box that had a 5-disc disc changer that popped out. Man, there was like dirt and crap in there. I don't know what they did with this thing, but it took me a while to clean it up. All right. We're solid with this guy. I really hope this thing sells. Usually I'm only selling stuff that, or at least when I'm sourcing now, because I've gotten smarter. Weird, you get smarter as you do this stuff more. But I'm curious to see if that sells, because usually I don't sell stuff that I don't have any type of data on. All right, this guy, DVD. Oh, we got no power cord. Well, crap. All right, here's what we're doing. I don't have another power cord. Nope. So, I just used up my last one. This is why I usually keep a handful of extra power cords. You guys can see like the size of that. One circle, one square. I usually keep spares for this reason. None of these other ones have that type of power cord. All these other ones are part of the units. And I know that was the last, I just used my last one of those. So this guy's gonna have to wait. As you guys can see, it already has like some of these have post-it notes on them because I had somebody go through and kind of clean and test. I'm just redoing it all because I'm just double checking work. So that guy I need to get a cord for. Just put that aside. Ah, there we go. Good call. Test every slot because sometimes they might bypass. That's good to know. We're going to keep a mental note on that and redo that one. If you guys aren't following Rob, by the way, this guy knows his stuff, so definitely go give him a follow. Rob, you want to post your YouTube link down there? Get a torch and a knife like Pete. That's awesome. So my name's not Chad, so this is where the confusion might happen. A lot of people think it's Chad, because sometimes I just say it fast, but it's Chaz with a Z. It's like I get 50-50. It's half the people call me Chad, so that's why when I see Chad in the chat, sometimes people are confusing him. That's funny. I have a Pioneer 5-disc in my death pile. Probably should check it out. Yeah, at least look it up. Especially Pioneer. It's definitely a more popular brand than Curian. Ah, there you go. Yeah, so go give Reselling with Rob a follow, guys. P.S. Thanks for hanging out in here. I know anyone who does YouTube can definitely attest to this, but just because we put up YouTube videos about this ball game doesn't mean we know it all, and it does not mean we're experts by any means. So when I get other people that have way more knowledge than I do, like Rob here with electronic stuff, it helps me out tremendously because I'm learning along with you guys. It's just funny how it's like people think because you have an Instagram account or a YouTube channel, like you're an expert, and that's usually not the case. Like we're always learning, always growing. That's... All right, let's put it in. We are on out. We'll have to do another one of these when I'm testing out more Rock Band guitars. I just tested out 11 of them the other night. That was so much fun. For the record, I suck balls at clothing. Me too. Ah, only moderators can do that? Gotcha. All right, Rob's easy to find. Reselling with Rob. Look him up. All right, let's get this guy going. Standard DVD player. Again, these are from our death pile, so some of these I don't remember picking these up. So I'm gonna look up comps again. Like if I have anything that's just not worth even like cleaning and testing, I'm just gonna donate it. Again, you gotta look at your time that you're putting into stuff. So this is Toshiba. We're looking at DRW2. Sweet. This was... It was a decent buy. One of them just sold for $94.99. But looks like the... oh, wait, no. I missed out. One sold for $44 plus $42 shipping. $60 plus $24 shipping. Somebody sold $30 with free shipping, so they're not making much on that. $48.95, $69.99, $49.99. So comps are between 50 and 90 based on the last couple weeks of sold. So now I'm going to look at the current listings, just kind of get an idea what people are asking. We see a 65 plus 24 shipping. We see an 80 plus 20 shipping, $99.95, 68, $129, $229. I don't think he's gonna sell that for $229. Some of the prices people ask are so crazy. Couple 60s, so between 60 and like 60 and 80 is a pretty healthy thing. This thing's not in great shape. It's got scratches. I don't know how well you guys can see. Sometimes cameras just don't pick it up. This thing's got a good amount of scratches and scuffs. So I'm not gonna price on the higher end. I'd probably price closer to like $60, 60 to 65 range. No, I usually always start out high, so that's actually a lie. I'd start at like 70, turn on best offer, and then I'd be willing to drop it down to like 55 and 60. It's super light, so this is only gonna cost probably, even if I go to New York or Florida, this is probably only gonna cost me like 15 to 18 bucks to ship. So I'd be willing to come down to like 55 on the low end. Ideally, I'd like to get 60 to 65 and somewhere in around that range. So not a bad buy. Whoa, that's awesome. New England pickers and debris removal. I've sold on eBay since 1998 and still F up. That's amazing. I love talking to people that have sold for that long. Like I've only been doing the eBay electronic stuff for like 6 months. No, I was doing it last summer. I've always kind of flipped stuff on eBay when I find it. I've never purposefully done eBay. But when I find it, I would toss it up on my wife's account, which is clothing. And I've been doing that for like 2 years. Usually garage sale season, off and on. So this was definitely the first time I've had like a dedicated chunk of time I put into it. All right, here we go. So this guy turns on. Cord, open this up. It's so clean on the inside, which is good. All right, we got a picture. Pretty sure it's gonna work. I've not honestly bought a lot of stuff like this that hasn't worked. I've had a few, like the rewind button doesn't work or it just doesn't turn on. I've had a few stuff like that, but for the most part, I've had pretty good experience. A lot of the times I'll pick this stuff up from either garage sales or Goodwill are my top two pickups. And if it's from a garage sale, most of the time the owner, I always ask them like, does it work? That's number one question I ask. And most of the time they're up front if it doesn't work or if there's any flaws. That's a second follow-up question you might want to think about asking too is, does it work? And if they say, yeah, it works, ask them if they know of any flaws. And then they might say something like, I had one guy who's like, oh, that's okay, I bought a camcorder. And I asked him, does it work? He said, yeah, it works. And then a follow-up question was, does it have any flaws that you know about? And he was like, oh, that's right. The screen, when you flip it out, like half the screen doesn't work. Or like it was black on half the screen. I'm like, yeah, I'm putting that back. So those are like my two questions I ask. If you're at Goodwill, most Goodwills, not all, but most Goodwills will have outlets in there for you to test. So you can't test the video quality, but you can at least be able to plug it in, make sure the tray opens up and everything's smooth. If you got a tray that just like slowly comes out or like it gets stuck, then you need to look at, is it worth repairing or are you just gonna pass on it? Oh, Rob, that's awesome, man. Been on eBay since 2000, hustling since I was 8. That's amazing. We got 2003. That is incredible. You guys have all been doing eBay way longer than I have. I am still a newbie to this game. All right, we're good there. We're gonna hit play. Man, it's crazy. I always hear like people have been doing this for so many years. Like I wish somebody would have opened up my eyes, or like I would have discovered the whole eBay hustle when I was younger. Like I didn't even find out about this stuff until I was like 28. Had no idea eBay was like a tangible business you can run until I was like 27, 28. Oh, thank you for bringing that up. Kiki Mom said a lot of houses will have outlets on the outside, so I asked people if I can plug them in and see what and see it when I'm at garage sales. That's an awesome tip. I didn't even think about that. That's a really good tip. If you have any electronic plugs in a wall or has a motor, check comps on parts. Many times you'll get more in parts than the item itself. That's a really good tip as well. That's definitely true. And that's why people, like, if you see stuff that doesn't work, like, don't automatically pass up on it because of that reason. You can part stuff out pretty well. I just turned 30. July was my birthday, so I just passed 3-0. All right, we're gonna go forward. Gonna go back. All right. Looks like we are good. One other tip too is listen, because sometimes you'll have either DVD or the VHS when it's playing, it's really loud. So that's something that I would note in a listing is like runs loud, but doesn't affect the actual play of the video. So that's just like a little side thing. And it really just, it depends on what type of business you want to run, right? Because some people don't put anything in their listings, and then other people are be very detailed oriented. So it just depends what kind of business you want to run. Same thing, I'm paying attention to the part that, oh, you guys can't see that. Paying attention to the part that slides out, the tray, because if it's really slow coming out, or if it catches, sometimes they'll catch. Or sometimes they'll come out halfway, catch, stop, and then you have to like pull out the rest, but it goes in fine. Like I'm taking notes on all that kind of stuff. This guy is good though. That works for me. And because I know we're gonna get at least one person that's like, that's a lot of time spent testing stuff and cleaning for such little profit. It's like, well, if I'm not doing YouTube and talking to you guys and hanging out here, like I'm not in a time crunch. I'm not in a big rush to get this stuff done. I love hanging out, doing behind the scenes stuff with you guys like this. If it was just me blasting my music, doing my thing, like this would be done very, very quick. Right? Your plug, play, fast forward, rewind, check your buttons, next one. Like you can go through this stuff pretty quick. I like to chill and hang out with you guys. So I have no problem doing this. Keep that there. All right, we've got another DVD changer. This is a little bit of a wider one. Okay, we have power, so that's a good sign. So this is another 5-disc changer. So with these, since I haven't sold them before, oh, this one's all fancy. This got like a little toggle on it. To look up comps on this again. It's got surround sound options. Just select, back up. So again, with anything with a tray, I'm always just kind of paying attention, like, does it move smoothly? Oh, it's a reflection of the light. From this angle, it looked like there's some big white thing moving as a reflection. All right, so we're good there. I am gonna test each one, because that was a really good point that Rob brought up. All right, bring that there. Yeah, Rob said tons of items in electronics can be used for other things. Most people don't know that. I don't know if you were here earlier. I shared how our landlord is extremely knowledgeable with like VCRs, vintage radio stuff. He used to be an artist, and he would take the heads out of VCRs and he would craft these sculptures out of them. Crazy looking stuff, but he was super cool with that. So he used to buy up VCRs all the time because of that reason. Yeah, people use parts for all kinds of stuff. You don't want to hear squeak. All right, so there. Man, I actually want to look up comps on this again, because this is definitely a little bit of a higher, hopefully a higher ticket item. Sony. Where's my... There we go. Most of the time, there's a few that don't, but most of the time, if you guys don't do electronics and you want to get into it, the model number will usually be on the front plate, either right next to the name or bottom right, or like the top 2 areas it's in. it's sometimes easy to miss, so just make sure you're looking for it. So we got Sony DVP. I don't know if anyone's following along, but I'll just say it out loud. DVP NC 600. So let's see what comps we have on this. All right, solds. Oh, that is not going for what I was hoping. Yeah, so solds are not great on this. We have 29, 23. I put an MC 600, okay. 50 free shipping. 40, so 56 free shipping. 60. 50. Yeah, not great comps on this one. Like some of these are bought so long ago, it was definitely like pre me actually trying with electronics. So I probably looked at this and thought, buy it for 10, sell it for 50, I'm gonna make a bunch of money, right? Because it's easy to try to do the math in your head, like, oh, it's a $40 increase. But you got your shipping, which something like this, it's a little bit wider, a little bit heavier than the other ones. It's probably going to be 20, 25, maybe, depending where it's going. If it goes all the way across country, it'll probably be up to upwards of $30 to ship. Yeah, this one, it's a no-go for me right now, unless I'm missing. Let me see. So one with a controller sold on August 4th for 50 plus 41 shipping. So it's technically a $90 sale. This one sold for 20 plus 21, so it's 41. I'm just double checking. 40, got a 50 free shipping. 47.36 plus 23 shipping. 60, 40, so that's 56, 50. So I could probably, Rob, what do you think? I'm probably thinking like 55, 60-ish range. It's probably a decent sell price. Yeah, Rod, I think that's probably what I would do. Print out the manual and then toss in a remote for it. It's a really clean unit. This is all dust. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's all dust up there, so that comes off. But this is a super clean unit. I mean, I have it. Worst case scenario, I'm just going to take photos. I'm going to list it. I'm going to get I want to print off. I love that idea. I'm just going to commit to it. I'm just going to start doing. I'm going to start printing off manuals for all these. So I think I'm just going to list it for like 60, even if it costs like 25 to ship. I never pay more than $10 for most things. So I'm going to say that I paid $10 for this. I'll probably make 15, 20-ish profit at the end of the day. Worst case scenario, it doesn't sell and then I just donate it and write it off. We'll see. How do we still have 85 people watching? You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for tuning in. It cracks me up. It's like, Rob, you do YouTube. I don't know if you feel this way too, but sometimes I put up videos like this where it's super long. I don't see this as being an entertaining video for anyone, but people still show up and watch. So it's like, that's the biggest compliment anyone can give. So thank you guys for being here. Yeah, make sure anytime, that's a really good tip. So thanks for bringing that up. Anytime that you guys print manuals, make sure you state that it's a printed manual, because some people want the like original, genuine, authentic one. And yes, I just shoved all three of those words into one. So yeah, that's a good tip there. Flipping treasures in the house. What's up from Tucson? Yeah, the engagement. That's why people come. I love doing these style of videos so much more than I like pre-recording myself doing stuff and then fancy editing and then uploading. Like we're gonna start doing our vlogs again. People love the vlogs, so we're gonna keep doing that. That's like the fancy editing stuff. But I love doing like the live chat stuff with you guys. I get more out of watching other people live behind the scenes doing stuff than I do watching pre-recorded content most of the time, unless it's a specific tutorial I want to see. So that's why I figure I'm just gonna start doing more live stuff with you guys. Usually I would do it on Instagram, but I figured YouTube, I haven't really put a lot of effort into YouTube in the last couple months, so I figured I'd be up here doing this. Rob struggles with the same thing. I try to do help videos and I suck. I'm just better at talking. I'm right there with you. It's like I've got a whole laundry list of like tutorials that I'm going to be coming out with. Like they'll be really good videos, but it's just not the same as like engaging with an audience. I love that so much more. Yeah, so that's, I mean, I think I'm just going to try to price it at 60, see what happens. I could price it a little bit higher and do best offer. That's probably what I'll end up trying out first. If this was dinged up and not in good condition, I probably would just donate it and do a little tax write-off on it. But it's a clean unit. This is in really good shape. Lots of F-bombs being thrown out on the pre-records. That's the thing, like, if you guys can see all the pre-recorded videos that are floating around out there, even mine too, like same thing with Rob here. Man, if you can see all of the edits that we had to cut out because of like word slip-ups or like, stop. It's ridiculous. Flippin' Treasure says, found 2 Magnavox combos. Amazon, look at me going for 100. Nice. Magnavox is really good. My 2 best ones I've done so far. Oh, that sparked something. I gotta pull that out. My 2 best ones I did so far, I spent 30 bucks. There was 2 of them, the exact same models. It was a Philips. I forgot what the exact model was, but it was a Philips DVD combo, DVD VHS combo. 30 bucks each. Sent them into Amazon FBA. No remotes, and they sold for $180 each. It's like people are buying this stuff. It's crazy. All right, what we're doing here, this is a 5-disc holder. So shout out to Rob for reminding me, like, we should probably test each one just to make sure there's no skippage or anything like that. So far so good. Did I see we have another one in Eugene here? We got Dave's Quest in the house. He said, I just got here. I'm going to have to watch the replay. It's a long replay. So if anyone is watching the replay and you've made it this far, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm curious. Where's everyone from? We got Wisconsin. We got Idaho. All right. Sounds good. The smallest state. All right. 1 and 2 are good. 3. Oh, what's up, Melissa? Just over in Ashland, Oregon. Not too far from me. Rob's in Tucson. We got SoCal. Got Missouri, Long Beach, Rhode Island, New Hampshire. You don't hear that every day. Corvallis, Texas. Love seeing where people are from. What is going on here? Skip. It wasn't in all the way. Make sure the disc is completely in or it doesn't read it. outside Chicago. Squeak. So if you're on trivia night now, you know. I love watching people in the chat. It's so fun. This is a prime example of I would much rather spend more time doing all this kind of stuff working for myself than I would ever want to work for somebody else, even if it's for less time. Like, though it's a thing that if you're self-employed, you have to go self-employed in order to fully understand it. But like, there's no turning back. Like, I've been through the crappy jobs like anyone else. I was in a career that I loved the career, but I hated what it was doing to my body. For those that don't know, I was a massage therapist full-time before this. Wreaked havoc on my body. It was a physically demanding job and mentally too. I mean, you're dealing with clients that I loved the career. Loved it. Because I was able to help people physically on a whole different level. Like, I help people overcome car accidents. I help athletes get over sports injuries. Like, I loved what I did in that career, but the environments that you're in at jobs, it's very stressful. You have to work with like 6 clients a day, an hour each. If you're working for somebody else, typically they want you to do 5 or 6 massages a day, and that was really tough. So that's why I went self-employed to begin with. But when you go self-employed, like, you can't go back. Can't go back. Oh, nice. Chad says his sister was a massage therapist and an athlete, and both become a lot. Yeah, it's tough. Number 4, it's saying no disc. Why are you saying no disc? Let's try this. All right. Nothing's blocking it. We're in. Come on, you have to work. We can't get all the way to number 4 and not work. Mark, I'm right there with you. It amazes me that stuff I pick up, people want to buy. Yeah, Rob was right. Number 4 is giving me, oh, we're in now. I don't know why it was saying no disc on that first try. Let's open and retry again, just to make sure. I'm already learning with these things. You have to make sure they're like all the way flush or it's not going to read. All right, let's try number 4 again. Just make sure. Oh, David, that's a whole nother 3-hour conversation. My biggest problem is self-discipline. That's the name of the game in the entrepreneurship world. Like, those of us who actually do it like full time, we work for ourselves full time. We don't have a 9 to 5. Like, we are self-employed. That's the game, is being self-disciplined. Like, a couple other factors with that too. It's like you have to have this level of self-drive. Like, discipline is a huge part of it, but deeper than that too. Like, you've got to have this weird drive that, like, you don't take. I'm trying to think of the right verbiage for this. It's not that you don't take days off. It's that you always want to keep moving forward. Versus, like, it makes me think when I was working for other companies as a massage therapist, like, I had no desire to like move forward with the career. Like, I showed up, I did bare minimum just to collect my paycheck, right? Do enough just so they wouldn't fire me. Do bare minimum, clock out, go home, pig out, play video games, and then repeat the process. I didn't have like the drive, but something clicked when I quit my jobs and just went self-employed. Something clicked, and it's like, that's all I think about is like, what's the next step? What's the thing I could do today to move forward? Like, there's something, and it's not something you can verbalize. Like, the people who are self-employed know exactly what I'm talking about, but there's a drive in you that doesn't shut up, like it doesn't stop. There's not an on or an off switch. It's just there. You're always gonna like grow and chase that next goal. And that's why some people go self-employed and they don't stay self-employed, because they realize it's a lot harder than people think. It is way harder than people think. It's so much more difficult being self-employed than I ever would have thought it would be. Not even like on the business side of stuff, but more just the mental aspect, because you do have to be self-driven. You have to have self-discipline. You have to stay consistent. You have to learn to motivate yourself enough to get out of bed at a decent hour and not sleep until noon. Trust me, I would love to sleep until noon every day. But one, I got a 3-year-old. Two is like, if I sleep in past 7 or 8, like I feel like I wasted my whole morning. So I'm on this kick of like, I want to get up at 5 and 6 in the morning, and I want to be as productive as I can and keep moving forward. It's a different mental ball game, part-time versus full-time. And you won't understand that until you bridge that gap and go for it. I'm not saying anyone here needs to like jump ship and quit their job because Chaz said so. Like, that's not it at all. It's playing on a different level mentally than I ever thought it would have been. All right, so number 4, good news, did check out and it works. I'm curious, where is everyone at in the chat with your business? Whether it's reselling, I don't care if you're doing real estate, whatever you're doing, like where are you at with your business? Do you want to go full-time for yourself? Are you happy having a 9-to-5 and then doing this as a side hustle? There's nothing wrong with that at all. As long as you're happy doing what you're doing, then no one can take that from you. I'm just curious, like, where's everyone at with their journey? Yeah, whiteboard, huge fan of whiteboards. I love that. Rod said, I do online reselling as a hobby, something to fall back on. I love that. This is why, like, this is where like the term Side Hustle Pros came from, our brand, because I've never been a fan of putting all my eggs in one basket. I've always loved the idea of having multiple streams of income, because when one is slow, I have others to fall back onto and then pick up the slack, vice versa. It's like when I went self-employed for the first time, I quit my massage therapy job and I rented a space downtown here in Oregon. I rented a space and I started booking my own massage clients. So instead of taking home $30 per massage from the company I worked for, I was able to then take home $65 per massage. So I had to do half the work to make the same amount of money per hour. So that was a huge win. The hard part was then booking my own clients and doing my own marketing to get people through the door. Because when you work for a company as a massage therapist, same thing as like a personal trainer, hairstylist, that kind of like the trade jobs where you're dealing with clients. If you work for a company, typically the company does all the work as far as marketing goes, and you have clients on your books when you show up for your shift. So that was a really tough thing for me to wrap my head around, was getting my own clients. So I got into that world and I realized real quick, like I would have a really slow month and then we wouldn't be able to pay rent. And that was really hard. Like we went through those tough times like a lot of people do. We've been there, done that. That's why I can preach about it and talk about it now, because I get it. So when I started having those swings of like busy season, slow season, my income was going with it, the ups and the downs. That's when I started looking at other streams of income. So then I started doing a little bit of online personal training, found out about Amazon and eBay, and all these things blossom from that, right? This YouTube channel doesn't make a lot of money at all, but it helps supplement a little bit. Same thing with like Amazon affiliates or affiliate marketing, sponsorships, that kind of stuff starts to pop into the ball game. And then Side Hustle Pros became like our lifestyle. Like side hustles, multiple side hustles is what builds up our entire income. We don't have any one source of relying on just one source of income. That was never something we were interested in. Current employer is laying us off in April, so may go full-time self-employed then, depending on business. But so far started in March and doing well. That's awesome. Yeah, if you just started in March and you feel like you're doing really well, then awesome. Keep going for it. All right, number 5. Works. Golden. Yeah, I think, I'm going to take the best photos I can, put up the best title I can, solid description. I think I'm just going to price like $65 and just see what kind of attention it gets. Put up best offer if I need to. Rob's been one of the OGs. So before Side Hustle Pros, a lot of people who haven't been following us for a long time don't know it took a while for me to land on Side Hustle Pros as the brand. Before that, the first channel name I had for this channel, this was December 6th, 2015 is when I did the first video on this channel. It was a brand new channel. And I created it to document our journey, which, as you can see, is what I'm still doing, is just documenting. I ended up, what was that? It was Ecom with Chaz or something. Yeah, it was Ecom with Chaz. Was like the very first name I just put on this because I had no freaking idea. Can I just state this? When I put up that first video, I had 0 subscribers and 0 views. I had no freaking idea that 2.5 years later it would turn into 75,000 subscribers. That just blows my mind to even thinking about. Like 75,000 people hit that subscribe button. And our total channel is at like 2.5 million views or some crazy number. Like it just, I never would have thought that was even going to be a thing. So I just wanted to be like, hey, my name's Chaz. I'm going to start selling stuff on Amazon, now eBay too, and I'm just going to put it up on video and see what happens. Yeah, I always call myself Coach Chaz. A lot of people thought I was referring to like coaching for Amazon, which was not the case. It's because I came from doing fitness coaching. I did that for many years. So being in the health and fitness world, people always called me Coach Chaz. Yes, coach. Yes, coach. That was my name basically. So when I came into Amazon world, I started calling myself Coach Chaz. I realized real quick, like I was brand new to Amazon and I had the word coach in the same sentence. So people thought that I was trying to play coach, and I was like, that's not it at all. Like even now, we have our VIP group, and that's the closest thing to coaching that I do, but I still don't do one-on-one coaching or one-on-one mentoring. That's something I'll do down the road. I just want to have the credibility to back it up. So I feel like me personally, I want to have like way bigger sales numbers before I feel I have the credibility to do the coaching and the mentoring stuff. But for now, it's like I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying the YouTube channel. I enjoy documenting behind the scenes. I enjoy not being fancy with our YouTube channel. I enjoy being live and engaging, and I love the hustle. I love it. I'm one of those weird wired people. I just love the hustle of it. But yeah, that was the man. That was so old school. Ecom with Chaz was that first channel name. And okay, I did take it out. All right, so we're good on that. All right, let's get to. All right, I have had a bad habit of having death piles get mixed, and then I have controllers and manuals that go with stuff that I don't remember which ones they went to. Awesome. So the LG that we tested, I just found the remote and the manual that goes with it. That LG was the, I don't remember, was that the $70 one? The second one that we tested, I think that was a $70. So now it's more like closer to the $80 range because it has the remote and the manual with it. 80, 85. Jeff Bezos is my uncle. We got Houston in the house. Oh, nice. Been watching for 2 years. Thank you. Like, it legit just blows my mind. People have been watching for so long. You guys have been amazing. Like, we wouldn't have a channel if you guys didn't keep showing up and watching, so thank you. All right, next up, Sony. I remember picking this thing up. This was a garage sale buy for $5. That's why I love garage sales the most. Jeff R. Bezos, no relation to the Amazon guy. That's awesome. I love garage sales the most because people get rid of their stuff for so cheap. Like estate sales, you can still make really good money at, but estate sales typically know their pricing. Some of them will price really high because they know what it sells for online. Other estate sales, they just want to move stuff so they don't care, especially if it's like family run. But if you got the company, some of those companies, they know their pricing, so they go through and price it. But stuff like this at garage sales, like people want to get rid of it, so it's like $5, call it good. All right, so I did pay $5 for this Sony SLV -798 HF. All right, see if this was a good buy or not. We've got 38 plus 31 shipping. So it's just shy of a $70 sell price. We've got a $79.95. Got a 32 plus 18 shipping. We've got a 36 plus 25 shipping. We've got a 49. We got remotes. We've got another just shy of 70, 55 plus 18, so another 70-ish. All right, sweet. So I know, based on my data right here, that these aren't selling super fast, but we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sold in August. 1, 2, 3, 4 sold in July. So we can see between 4 and 6 units per month are selling of this. And that's how I look at my stuff. I'm not going to buy something that only sells once every other month, unless it's a really big profit. Yeah, I'm going to sit on that. But for something like this, paid $5. It's probably going to sell for 70 based on my data I have here. It's in good shape. It's just got stuff I got to clean off of it, but it's got no major big scratches or anything crazy like that. Really good shape. Does not have a remote. It's selling for 70. So if I got an extra remote for it for a few bucks, like I could probably price it up closer to 80. I'm good with just selling it as is for $70 and going for that. Of course, I'm gonna have the cables to go with it. I'm gonna get one of those. So let's get this guy going. Oh, and PS, if you didn't see, this is not a combo. This is just a standard VHS player, no DVD unit with it. So just a standard VHS player going for $70. I should say between 60 and 70 because the ones that sold for 70 had the remote. So that, yeah, that one came with a remote. So the one without a remote sold for 50. So that just changed my mind. Again, it's easy for me to overlook stuff like anyone. So that's why I like to scroll through twice just to see what I missed. So I am actually going to make a note that I'm going to get a remote for this one so that I can sell it for the $70 price point. So let's get this bad boy going. I almost grabbed the DVD. It's not going to take a DVD. Let's put these bad boys on. All right, we work on that. We're gonna fast forward. Good there. Good there. This actually looks like the ones that has a little turntable or turn wheel. Yep. So this has a little turn wheel. I don't know if you can see it there. Little turn wheel, rewind and fast forward. Control the speed that you want at. All right, cool. That one is good for me. It's got input select, TV video, SPDP. Got channel for tracking. All right, golden. I like it. Oh, did you look it up? Is the remote $20? Yeah, if the remote's $20, I'm gonna break even just buying the remote and upping it by $20. Yeah, I'll have to do some more research on that. If you can find a cheap like if you can find a remote for $10 and then you can then sell it for 20 more, you're up an extra 10 profit. That's worth it. But if you're gonna break even, then yeah, sell it as is, make the money that you'll make. All right, home stretch on these. Oh, do they want at least 20 on those? Yeah, that's no good. People know what they got. I need sticky notes. I have a weird memory where when it comes to like where I pick stuff up or mental notes that I make, I've got a steel trap memory with that kind of stuff. It's super weird. I do have Post-it notes, and I haven't been doing them. They're over across the warehouse, and I haven't wanted to get up and get them, which is why I haven't been doing it. Typically, I take notes, but I've got mental notes on any like remotes and stuff that I need. Yes, that is key in this business is connections. And Rod just brought up being able to get to know the folks running estate sales. Absolute key, especially like if you're doing retail arbitrage for Amazon. If you get in with the managers and the employees, like they'll give you heads up on deals that will make your business. It's like that is the most crucial aspect of this whole thing. Ah, there you go. That's smart. Build a custom SKU with how much, where I picked it up, date listed, location, and print it on a dymo and stick on an index card. There you go. The prep center is actually not taking on any clients right now. I carry a Jesus the movie in my test backpack. That's awesome. All right. Whoops. All right, so I'm actually gonna do this last one. I didn't even realize how late it was. And then I am going to eat. I haven't eaten in a while. And I've got anemia, so if I don't, it's weird. Like if I don't eat, it's not that I need to eat often, but if I go too long, that's where I start to like the lightheaded, the lethargic, all that stuff comes in. All right, one more DVD combo with the VHS. How many have you tested in life that was bad? I don't even know how many I've done total, but I've probably had, throughout the couple years I've been doing this, like 10 that just weren't good. They either didn't turn on or there was too many things wrong with it. I'd say 10 or less, like 8 to 10 range. Really not a lot recently. The only couple that have not turned on, I didn't buy because I was able to plug them in at Goodwill and they didn't turn on. So those ones this is not opening. Oh, there we go. Yeah, none really recently though. I've been trying to get a lot smarter with my purchasing, kind of cherry picking stuff. Like I pass up on crap every day that I can make 20 bucks on, but I'm trying to get that higher average sale price and that higher margin stuff. That's why it's like for stuff like this, I like to see like 60 plus is kind of what I'm going for. Because a lot of these I'm buying for 5 or 10 bucks. So 60 gives you enough wiggle room to make some cash. All right, so we got DVD first. These. We've actually had really good luck tonight. We haven't had one issue with any of these. Not too bad. VHS, I want to be on DVD. Oh, this actually does recording. Which means I'm going to check comps on that again because that is going to be a sweet flip. So we got Panasonic. For those that are following along, we got Panasonic DMR EZ37V. Let's see what we got here. Please be good. Yes. We've got 130 that came with a remote. We got 99, no remote. 73 plus 18 for shipping. Got a 70 plus 50 shipping, a 79.99, 99, 80, 84.99. So we know comfortably. And you know what? Those, I just realized those were actually the black ones. We have a silver. Shockingly enough, color plays a role with some of these. All right, so that keyword did not pop up with silver. So I know comfortably I can sell this for 100 bucks. I'm actually gonna go a little bit more. So there was this exact one, that silver color, June 20, I mean, it was in June, so it was a little while ago. June 26th sold for 139. See if I can find another silver one. So the black ones are all the ones that are popping up. Those are all selling for about 100 each. There's only one sold comp that I can find on a silver one for 139. So I'd kind of split that. So I'd come in at like 125 or 129. Probably higher end, I'd go 129. Turn on best offer. This is really clean. There's a few scuffs and scrapes on the back side, but front side is completely clean. So I am definitely happy with that. So that will be another really good one. So let's test this guy out. And it's always stuff like this that when I see them in my death pile and then I finally pick them up and test them and clean them and then run the comps, I'm like, I've had $100 just sitting in that pile just on this one unit. It's crazy. What am I watching? Welcome into the chats. We are doing late night testing on VCR units. And we're gonna sell these bad boys on eBay. Still testing. I have not gone for speed tonight. I've been wanting to engage and answer questions, and I'm here to learn just like everyone else because we got a lot of knowledgeable people in. Hubby just asked you, storage auctions pan out good. I've actually never done a storage auction. That's like the one type of reselling hustle I haven't tried yet is storage auctions. That's awesome. Said, I know for sure that there is a JVC combo somewhere in my basement that's worth $250 to $350. That does not surprise me one bit. Some of these things go for some good cash. All right, so we're good on that. Ouch. Go VHS side. Have you sold any TVs with integrated VCR and DVD player? I have not. I've looked a few up before, and I've thought about trying one out. Some of those older, the older style units, not the big TVs, but the smaller box ones. I've looked a few of them up that had comps for like 100 to 150. They were like 20 to 30 buy cost. I never pulled the trigger on it. Oh, geez, yeah. 6 old camcorders. Those are awesome money makers. Go for it. All right, good on that. It's so funny to see, like, this is why people pay more. This is, you can tell the quality difference when you like same VHS, but slightly better quality. That's why people pay a little bit more for some of this stuff. What time is it right now? I'm actually, so here's why I'm able to like do late night video stuff, because I'm actually on the West Coast. So it's only 10:16 for me right now. So for those of you on the East Coast, if you're watching this live still, thank you. It's awesome. I see we still got 63 people in here, so thank you guys. Whoa! The place where I rent my storage unit recently found a lady living in a unit. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of that. Rob just brought this up. Some electronics should be packed very tight. I always use pink bubbles and peanuts. I shrink wrap after I put the bubbles. Yeah, big fan of that. You try to, like, when I custom box my stuff, like if you've watched my stuff on Instagram and whatnot, I try to like that tight fit around that so there's zero wiggle room. That definitely, especially for stuff like this. When you're wrapping, especially bubble wrap, you want to make sure the corners are going to be protected. Because if this drops, like, it can take some hits from the top and bottom because there's a lot of cushion, but if it hits a corner, there's going to be more impact on the actual unit. So corners are a big one. And then just, yeah, get that box tight around there too. All right, so this one is golden. This one would actually be worth, because it's selling for over 100. I'm going to get a remote for this one. Because you got to look at, you know, it's always about the customer experience. The more money they're paying, like, you got to, I mean, you got to make it worth it for them too. Like if you're just selling a standard basic, like cheap $40 VCR, you don't want to go out of your way and buy a controller and like tons of cables and stuff like that. But if somebody's going to spend $120, $130 on that unit, like, yeah, I'm going to make sure there's a remote, cords, it's as clean. I mean, all of them are going to get clean, but I want to make sure this thing looks pristine when they get that. So aside from that, you guys are still here, which blows my mind. So thank you so much for tuning in, guys. This is the first time I've ever done a live, long behind the scenes video like this. So if you enjoy these types of videos, I don't mind doing more of them. This is the kind of stuff I do every day right now. I'm sourcing, I'm cleaning, I'm testing, I'm taking photos, I'm listing. This is the resale game, and I'm all in right now. So if you guys actually do enjoy watching long streams, I've even had this idea where, what if I just so we got these stairs up here, right? What if I set my camera up there and just stream for like half a day, and you could just like, Trista and I will be in here just doing our work day. And then I could be on the chat with you guys. And I don't know, I like doing behind the scenes stuff like this. I'm really getting into it. So if you guys enjoy this, two things. One, just do me a huge favor and hit the thumbs up button. That does help out the channel a ton in these videos. Number two is comment below. Let me know, do you enjoy watching these types of videos? Did you learn anything today? I definitely learned a few things just watching people in the chat. That's why I love engaging with you guys, because I'm learning stuff just like you guys are. I am by no means an expert in the electronics field. I'm just really getting into it over the last few months. I'm starting to really love it, get a passion for it, so I want to learn as much as I can. Little tips and tricks that you pick up from other members in the chat. Other YouTubers that are in here. It's awesome. So I appreciate each of you guys that tuned in, especially the people who tuned in live and you stuck around for, I think we're at 3 hours on the dot. What are we at? 176 minutes. So seriously, thank you guys so much. Have a great night. We'll see you next time. Just tune in. And if you are going to be in Las Vegas, I will be there Monday. Well, I guess if you're watching a later recording, you need a date. September 10th through the 13th. I will be in Las Vegas. So hit me up, and I'd love to meet up with some people. But peace out, guys. I'll see you later.